Big thumbs up. Oh my God, look at my and you coming through the curtain. My thumb. What's up with my thumb?
I have
My
no
thumb's
idea.
it's like see-through. All right, here we go.
Why?
Can give me my thumb back?
In
Damn,
terms of a
man.
visual, your thumb was see-through.
My thumb.
Why
Oh,
is your
that's
finger
weird.
see-through? So as
That's weird.
Frank is passing his thumb around, for some reason I can see through it. I can see the background. I don't even understand what's happening.
Green screen. That's how green my thumb is. If you see what I did there. You see what I did there, bro? All right, come on, start us off. Let's go. Let's get it. We in here. We in here. Start us off, my boy.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy.
Wait a minute, sir. You're supposed to go, welcome. That's so original. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. Right?
Oh! I didn't know. I see that. I didn't remember. I forgot about that stupid thing I've been doing. Okay.
No.
I'm sorry.
That's
Throw
not
it
your
to me one
thing.
more time. Throw it to me one more time.
That's Dave LaGreca's thing, but okay.
I throw it
All right.
one more time.
And starting off, we've got Vernon Somoza.
Oh, welcome
My ears.
to the.
Damn. We are the pay window, sir.
Word. I definitely almost did the. I was like, nope, that's not the name of our show. That's the real one. Throw it to me one more time. Hey man, you got me thinking. I got in the right mood for this. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Yo, this is live. This is how you know this is live on action. We're doing this live.
Here come your hints. All right. Pay Window Podcast, episode 18.
18.
The Sandbox Podcast Network.
Sandbox Podcast 18. Wait, and I'm Vernon Somoza. You're Frank Champion.
I'm Frank Champion. We got to touch tips, okay?
All right. Not the other way around. Got it.
Yep. And go. Now introducing my man, Vernon Somoza.
Oh, welcome!
Oh, my ears.
To the Pay Window Podcast. It's your boy, Vernon Somoza. Here we are. Manager, podcaster, just a fan who is here, happy to be here.
My ears.
With my boy, Sharon, as always, with my best friend, the heel one to my heel two, the only man whose tip I will touch. Yes, I'm talking about that man, Frank Champion. Frank Champion, what's going on?
What's going on? You know, they know who we are. It's been 18 episodes, Vern. It's been 18 episodes.
Here, shout out to the podcast.
Sandbox Podcast Network.
Shout out to the Sandbox Podcast Network, because they hold us down.
18 episodes, bro.
18 episodes.
A lot of things have happened in 18 episodes.
Yeah.
And we're gonna call back a few things during this episode, which is kind of cool because we've talked about a couple of these topics and we're getting some updates and we're getting some extra news about it. So we're gonna call back to some of these episodes. So
in a way, we got to be honest. This has almost been like, I've been thinking about this. This has been feeling almost like an audio journal, as in like
facts. Yeah,
I feel like in some way we can go back to this and I can say, you can hear a conversation between me and my best friend. We talk about wrestling, give our horrible takes. I share my I'm always wrong opinions, and we just have recorded it for the world to listen. And I just want to say, man, thanks. This has been fun. 18 episodes of this, and it's been a fun time because I look forward to this every time we do it. But I say that, and perhaps I bring this more somber, more serious note as we begin tonight on a much more serious note and some perhaps with a heavy heart, share some heavy news that shocks the world of wrestling and one of the many. Brother Frank,
you want me to take it away here?
Would you take this away for us? Sure.
Let me.
Nash is your guy. I feel like Nash is your guy, so it'd only be respectful to let you cover
Nash.
my dude. Nash,
see, that's how I know me and you were here, man. We're back. We didn't even talk about Nash being my guy. Nash has been my guy since about 96 when we first met.
Did I not? What was that one year for your birthday? I gifted you a signed Kevin Nash 8x10 from TNA that I got in the Don West brown bag.
That's right. It came with the
Don West brown bag.
It's in the somewhere. Yep. The
DVDs. Matt Morgan.
I don't remember where the DVDs are.
Yeah, man, but I know Nash is your guy because you were the one trying to put me on to the Main Event Mafia when I was like, and you're like, man, you got to watch my man Nash, and I was like,
my man Nash, Booker,
I was like,
Sting,
no way,
Angle, they were great.
Yeah,
All right, so yeah, we're talking about Kevin Nash, and not on a good thing. And I was talking about how we're going to be calling back things. So we're going to go call back all the way to episode 3, if I'm not mistaken. If I go through the episode list archives, I think it was episode 3. It was called R.I.P. Scott Hall. Kevin Nash gave a heartfelt, emotional message. I think he did it on the gram. I think he did it on Instagram about him losing pretty much his brother, and we reflected on that. So here we are 15 episodes later, which kind of equates to about 30 some odd weeks. So within the same year, Kevin Nash has now lost his 26-year-old son, Tristen.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P. to Tristen.
Condolences to Kevin Nash.
Condolences to Kevin Nash and the Nash family. I'm going to read what Kevin shared as far as details of what happened to his son. Like, I didn't know. I remember reading about it. Oh, he passed away. I had no idea why. You never know. Usually when somebody dies that young, you immediately think the worst, right? You think car accident, drugs.
Two things. You think of it's either an overdose at that age, or suicide, right?
Yeah.
You unfortunately
tragic accident.
You think tragedy or tragedy. You think the worst. Unfortunately, there is no like, oh, at that age you think, oh, they must have gone for something. So it's unfortunate. Yeah.
Right. So I'm gonna read the article. I'm gonna just read it, all that. The article is by Keisha Ford. I'm gonna guess it has an E at the end. This was on the 25th, so yesterday, as of right now. WWE's Kevin Nash shares 26-year-old son Tristen's cause of death. I'm gonna move this over here so I can read it straight ahead. Be easier for me. Okay, Kevin Nash. So I'm gonna read this header. Days after WWE Hall of Famer Kevin Nash's son Tristen was confirmed to have passed away at the age of 26, his dad has shared the details of his sudden death. Kevin Nash is sharing more insight on his son, Tristen's sudden passing. Days after the family released an October 20th statement confirming Tristen dead at the age of 26, the WWE legend shared that his son suffered from a seizure that proved to be fatal, which presumably came amid his sobriety journey. This is a quote from Kevin that says, "The seizure caused the cardiac arrest," Kevin said during the October 23rd episode of the Click This podcast. He was basically dead in his room on the floor with the EMT working on him. They got him back and got him in the ambulance, and they tried to save his life. So to the people at Halifax Hospital, doctors and nurses, I thank you. As the 63-year-old noted, both father and son recently made a decision to get sober together. Another quote from Nash says, "We both decided that we were going to stop drinking. So it was a situation where we both went cold turkey." He shared, "I don't think either of us felt great because you stop drinking coffee for a day and you get a headache. I think we were both dealing with it." Let me just see here. Okay. Yeah, this is important too. I feel like I should pop the picture up of him afterwards. The wrestling champion also reflected on the reason they both decided to stop drinking. Kevin's quoted by saying, "He had a couple of incidents," Kevin said, in reference to Tristen, who worked on the podcast with his dad and co-host Sean Oliver. "We actually sat up here last Wednesday, and in the course of the show, he drank 4 or 5 beers, unbeknownst to me. And he drank them, and I got pissed at him. I said, that's just not because he had this situation in the beginning, of the year where he was hospitalized for almost 60 days. And then this is Nash pretty much, I don't want to say taking blame, but he pretty much puts the burden on him as a man. That's a big thing for him to do. He says, "This is my cross to bear. It's alcoholism," Kevin added. Referring to WWE star Scott Hall, who passed away in March, he added, "It took one of my dearest friends. It took Scott, and now it's taken my son." After news broke of Tristen passing, Kevin's Click This podcast co-host Sean paid tribute to the 26-year-old's legacy. This is Sean Oliver now. "I met a great young man this year named Tristen," he wrote on Twitter. "He worked with me and his dad on a podcast we have and proved to be smart, sweet, savvy, witty, and mature beyond his mere handful of years. There were big things coming for him, but it was not to be." Added Sean, "To steal a heart so pure, full of potential, is cruelty beyond understanding. Won't try. I have this last text to me. Love you, man. I read it 50 times in 2 days, and I'm going to read it a lot more." I hate to start off a show on a somber note. But if there's any time to talk about it, it's immediately, so we can get it on, and not to sound rude, but get on with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we're not. Sorry, I got some on my mic. So we're not feeling somber for the rest of the different part of the show. But yeah, man, that was the big article there. I put 28. He passed away at 26, which is crazy. I couldn't imagine. At 26 years old, I thought I knew everything, and clearly now here I am, almost 12 years later. I don't know anything at this age. At 37, I don't know anything. So I can only imagine Kevin Nash losing his son so young must be a huge burden on him, especially the reason of death. I mean, Nash has known drugs, alcohol from his young days as Diesel, running with the clique and all that. It's well documented that those guys partied. I'm just going to put that. They partied. Mm-hmm. So those kind of things, it gets passed on. I don't know genetically if that's the case, if it's seen, stuff like that gets passed on. And his son had an alcohol problem. He was an alcoholic, just like Scott was. And Scott was struggling with it in his later years. Now here's his son, Tristen, who passed away early. I'm just going to say, if I'm Kevin Nash, I am never touching a bottle of anything unless it's water. Unless it's water. That's the only bottle I'm touching from here on out, because it just seems to be alcoholism in his later years is just starting to take away the people he loves a lot, I just wanted to get your take on it, my brother.
Yeah, man. No, I mean, my take is this, man. Rest in peace to the kid.
Yep.
That's heavy. That's heavy.
Oh, yeah.
As I think what you said is you said as a man, it's almost like his father owns that and has to live with that, and that's
right.
That's heavy.
Oh yeah.
So my heart goes out to Kevin, and I hope that I hope he can find peace at this. I was hearing a lot of different. I was listening to a couple of different podcasts talking about it, and one had commented, or one of the articles that had written about it had said that Kevin had reached out to Rick and talked to Rick about how he deals with the loss of his son, and that he didn't share the details of the call, but
of course not.
He basically just said that, like, but basically Kevin just said, like, this is how he deals with just talking about it and talking with others. So, if there's any, yeah, right. So if any message to take from it, right, if you find yourself struggling with whatever, get help, talk about it.
Talk about it. Right. Exactly.
There we go. That's my take on it, friend.
We're both dads. We both have beautiful little girls. I couldn't imagine. My father he always says, my children should be burying me. I shouldn't be burying my children. My dad always used to say stuff like that. So to see something like that, where my man Kevin Nash still alive and ticking at 63, having to bury his 26-year-old son, it's sad. Just sad and somber, and RIP to not everybody, to Tristen, and condolences to everybody in that Nash family. Do you want to head on to the next topic? Is that all you wanted to touch on it? I don't want to go too long.
I'm good. No, I'm good. I've said my piece on it, man. RIP.
Okay. All right. So taking a complete U-turn on that, what I'm noticing, we're gonna be jumping from like promotions to promotions. I think we're gonna stay on AEW for a little bit. Right now, we're gonna go to AEW. There's two things. We said we're gonna go back. We're gonna dial back about episodes we've done before. I've got to find the episode number on that one. This was episode 15. We're gonna recall now. This one was called "Everybody Hates Punk," and this was the post-media scrum we covered and all that good stuff. So I've got two topics about this.
Okay, sure.
I've got Ace Steel being released, and then more news today. I mean, hours ago when I was at training, this came out about CM Punk.
I don't know what this is, so this is going to be whatever you tell me. This is new because I've been working. As I said, I've been working, so I haven't really today been keeping up. And I've been reading. I've been reading a lot on Dick the Bruiser, and I've been fascinated by Dick the Bruiser. But go ahead.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, fascinated.
So Ace Steel released. We'll do that, and we'll go through that quick, because that's we saw that coming. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
When all this happened,
the only casualty of this whole thing was Ace Steel. Unfortunately, the only one here who had something to lose was Ace.
Right. So we all figured the day of, like, okay, this is the news that came out. he's a low guy. He's out of here.
He's going to be the guy that's out the door.
Right. We figured it was going to be announced quicker, but this is from, I think you shared this with me. This is from a Reddit post from Squared Circle, the good folks of the IWC. This was posted 6 days ago. So on the 20th, that was a busy day, the whole Tristen thing and this as well. Update on Ace Steel CM Punk All Out situation. This is somebody just paraphrasing. Shout out to this Reddit user, a man of iron. Look at that. Reddit users getting shout outs on our show from the basement. Ooh.
Cut that.
So my man, a man of iron, he said he's paraphrasing from the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter available to subscribers here. No. Ace Steel, real name Chris Guy, was released on 10/17 due to the situation at All Out. His wife was never spoken to for the investigation. AEW is currently in talks to buy out the remainder of CM Punk's contract, and Dave says this suggests that they are not looking to bring him back. There's an issue with the non-compete. Dave says this being an issue means obviously they don't want him to go to the WWE, as that's the only other company that can pay him the amount he was getting. Dave goes into several different scenarios regarding the optics of Punk going to the WWE and how even though WWE was very negative on him in the past and didn't get him when Fox pushed for him, they might now because they didn't realize just how much he meant to the fan base prior to his AEW debut. I'm like reading that with such skepticism. It's crazy. And getting Punk even now while he's injured and won't be able to wrestle for several months just for appearances would be a major coup for them. AEW and Punk did not comment or deny any of this. Sentiment in AEW is decidedly anti-Punk. Punk hasn't had any contact with the WWE, but is said to be close with Adam Pearce and Paul Heyman, who have some pull there. Those last few ones, I'm just like, okay. Everything after there was an issue with the non-compete bullet point, I feel like it's just Dave's trying to just spin a narrative. That's all this. But let's talk about it from the top. Ace Steel released. Your thoughts, sir?
Again, he's the guy who was lowest on the poll, Punk's boy, the newest hire. He dropped the F-bomb that one time on television, which he paid the fine for.
I'm sure he got, because
he paid the fine because allegedly he went to the back and was just like, okay, hey, I know, I'll pay it, whatever it is. It's me. He got it.
Yep.
So like him getting fired is okay. That makes perfect sense. So nothing there is shocking to me.
Okay. AEW in talks to buy out the remainder of CM Punk's contract.
I guess the one thing we have to throw into all of this, and I think from here on out always, is allegedly and supposedly, because in the last weeks, everything around this whole Punk thing, all the news, and I'm doing air quotes when I say news about it, updates have been so. Did you see how a couple of days ago the IWC was reporting that WWE in talks for CM Punk, and then a few days later this stuff started getting reported, and there's this whole thing about a non-compete with WWE, blah blah blah, and it's like, where did that come from? What sources told you that WWE was going to bring it? So it just feels like a lot of this stuff is just fishing in the way of like, well, it's not true, but I'm not saying
there must be an inkling of truth.
That's what so much of this feels like. I mean, I don't know, right? Since the Bucks have been gone, all the news sites seem so dry for news. No, like since they've been gone, don't all the sites all seem dry with the stories and the like?
Especially if anything out of AEW.
Yes, and since there are rumors of them coming back, all of a sudden we're starting to get the whisper campaign about another whisper campaign. Thunder Rosa's her girls aren't getting booked, and then Meltzer reports that. Shockingly, Meltzer reports that. And then Captain Sean Dean, is that his name? The homie from AEW, who he books the girls, on Twitter calls out Dave and was just like, yo, Dave, what's really good though? Like, you could reach out to me. Like, this is false. You know it is. So why are you reporting it like it's true? And then Dave does the. I believe Dave did the backs. You know, the old 2-step and
Captain Sean Dean is the guy who books the girls now.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does the dark, the AW dark and elevation. He does the talent booking for them. He was on Busted Open.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I remember them using.
I hate it that you made. I feel like, why do I know so much about AEW? And when I say that, you're like, really? It's like, I shouldn't know that much about. But he was on Busted Open when he beat
MJF.
When he beat MJF, he did a spot on Busted Open. He talked about that he has other jobs besides just wrestling.
Okay, all right. So he's like a Kenny Omega right hand then. Because Kenny, I thought, was the one that booked the ladies. I can't say that.
I don't know if he does ladies specifically, but I think he does.
You can't confirm or deny. Your
he does the talent. I believe he does the talent. I believe he does the talent, the booking of the talent for AW Dark and the shows that get filmed in
Dark and Dark Elevation.
That's what he does. He does the booking for that. Like he gets the talent for that. That's what he does.
Oh, okay.
So allegedly, the report was, but again, whisper campaigns, right? All this whisper campaigns.
And I don't know if you saw it, but the Bucks had somewhat of a vignette today on AEW television. They were showing like still photos of them. I wasn't really listening to the wording, because I was at training, but it was just showing them like it'd be a shot of me, and I was just like disappearing, like a burn type of deal. So I don't know, but go ahead.
So whatever that means, right? Whatever that deep supposed. I'm sure somebody has a 2-page synopsis on it. I'll
already
tomorrow
I'm sure you're gonna
at
find
4
it,
in the morning. I'm gonna say, can you believe this garbage? And I'm gonna start typing.
It's my morning coffee. I love it. Every morning I wake up, I get about 6 texts from you. I'm like, all right, my day's gonna be good this day. I got my morning coffee from Vernon.
So that's what. So I think that's what's really been weird about this whole Punk story, right? Is that like. Yeah. Since it's happened and since the Bucks have been gone, the sheets are dry. Stories. Do you remember the Wyatt 6 story when everybody was like, "Yo, this is a faction of 6, Grayson Waller, all that," right?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah,
and I remember I was in the text. I was like, "Yo, guys,
where are you getting that?
Where is this coming from? Who made this up?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yo," and Shay was like, "Yo, but Vern, peep this," and I was like, "But Shay, are you just repeating what someone else said? Because I don't understand how anyone."
Shay
Dreamer, and then Shay Dreamer proved it when it came out, and lo and behold, the Wyatt 6 is not a faction.
Why did people think it a faction?
Because can I tell you, for whatever reason, and like today, Dave did it again. Did you see Dave reporting in the Observer? Dave reported that GCW is working with WWE.
I saw that.
And I sent you, and I was like, "What is this?" I was like, "What the hell is this?" And it was over a marked picture that the homie took with Stephanie. Like clearly, where it's it's like
Brett Lauderdale.
Brett Lauderdale's like the big fan photo, like you can they can touch you, but you're not allowed. You're just
yeah.
He took the marked picture, and so he put like, and all the GCW. It was a joke. They all started posting like, "Watch Monday Night Raw." Much more Raw, and so then from that
became news. That became news. I remember that.
He inferred that they're working together based on the joke photo, right?
We had this discussion about wrestling,
but like
journalist sites.
But I'm just saying, but connecting it to AEW in so much as like, if what Meltzer's reporting, right? I'm like, is this truth, or is this what? The camp, right? The Bucks camp, the elite camp, I'll call it. The elite camp is like, this is the official story we're giving out. And we all hate Punk because as much as Sassy Punk gets annoying, we can't fault Sassy Punk for being just who he is. If he wants to get spicy, Punk gets spicy.
Yeah,
he gets spicy.
And I'm going to eat that buffalo chicken because I love it.
He is not backing down. You gonna dab that number 10 right on the
hot ones?
The hot ones?
Hot ones.
We gonna dab it? Nah, I'm smearing it, Doc. Put the bottle on it. I'm smearing it.
No, he talks hella spicy.
So absolutely. I'm all with it, right? So we respect Punk for that. In 1 year, Punk had this bang up freaking career in 1 year.
Crazy.
And no offense, as much as I like to jump on Punk, I like to get on him for being a sour old bastard. Like, it sucks. Honestly, my feeling in this whole situation, it sucks because the wrong guy got penalized. Ace Steel getting fired is fine, but them buying out Punk's contract is insane.
So I think
Tony Khan, if Tony Khan lets that happen, I don't care from here on out, AEW, I'm done.
So let me ask you a question.
You just took away the one thing that made you special.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure. In my opinion, for me, that made them special.
That's all this is. That's all this is.
Let me not. I know, but I'm making like a grandiose statement. Made you special. No, it's not true. I'm nobody, so let me not make that grandiose statement.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think TK was given an ultimatum from the elite camp? Hey, TK, you're TK. TK.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Us or him.
It's friends over business. It's friends over business. I bros before hoes, and pardon the nomenclature.
Sure,
it's
we
bros
get what
before
you're saying.
hoes. It's yo, you my ride or die. You was my day one.
Who was the one who was here from day one in front of that pool in Jacksonville?
I'm gonna throw away the bag because we're boys. I'm going to throw away the bag because that's more important than biz. Somewhere along the way, we forgot this is the wrestling business.
What's worth more? One action figure or 3 really cool action figures? Which ones?
But you know what? It's one limited edition, one of one action figure.
One of one.
That's the problem here. It is. You're right. It is one, but you're giving up a one of one for Kenny and the Bucks. You know how I feel about them. I don't think they're a once in a generation. If you miss them talent, right? You've missed them. I think Kenny Omega benefited from a lot of positive press and a lot of people having that Mandela effect where they've told you it's a great match. So of course it's a great match.
Can I tell you something before you go on?
Please.
I had on, what was it the other day? I have a channel called the Fight Network, and sometimes they show old.
Oh, you mean the match? If you talk about one of the 3 matches that changed professional wrestling,
hold on.
Okay, please tell me you're going to talk about that.
It was New Japan Wrestling. It was just running. I was waiting for the kid to go to sleep. I had it on. Wasn't even really paying attention, but I looked up and I saw Kenny Omega versus Switchblade before Jay White had a beard. Before Jay White had a beard, the Bucks are out there with it. And I'm trying to calculate. I said, this has to be like 2018 or something like that. Still was the cleaner. Still had the white hair. Oh, the silk white. Okay.
That weird phase. Yeah.
I'm watching Omega, and I will say this: American television has taken away the luster that was Kenny Omega. When you watched them in Japan, you didn't unless you were a diehard and you had NJPW World, whatever it is, their streaming service. You wasn't watching Omega every week. But then you started seeing Omega every week, and it's the same finger bang, finger in the air, running knee, V-trigger, the same stuff. I'm watching Kenny Omega on New Japan when he was hot and bubbling, and I'm like, bro, this man didn't evolve. He didn't try to be different. He just ran with the same old stuff. I'm gonna say stuff.
Okay.
The same old stuff from there. And I saw that. I was like, man, this is why I'm not a fan of Omega anymore. Because I was on that Omega hype train. Let's go. He's one of the best.
Do you remember when I first showed you? Would you remember when I first showed you an Omega match?
Oh, when he had the short curly blonde hair. The short curly blonde hair.
Big curl. Remember green trunks with green and orange trunks? DDT Kenny Omega. And I was like, yo, this Canadian kid is killing it in Japan.
Yeah, he was with him and Ibushi. He was
no
all over
way
the
in the
DVD.
world you convince me that's the same guy.
It's crazy, but no, okay. So this is one other thing I wanted to ask about because we just went on a
random tangent on that. But this whole thing with Ace Steel is just to tell you, I expected Ace Steel. I think Tony Khan buying out his contract's a big mistake
with Punk. Yep.
And to answer your question, I think Tony Khan made the wrong choice. If indeed it was an ultimatum, I think he chose his friends in front of the bag, and I think it's going to ultimately. No, it doesn't. It won't hurt him. We keep saying ultimate, but it won't. It won't hurt the bottom line.
If it was
for the few people that are watching, they'll stop watching, and for those who nothing will run them off, they'll get to have their own version of TNA.
I think it would have hurt them already if it was to hurt them. They would have been in trouble. So let me ask you one more thing.
You
and
mean
then
Battle of the Belts that was outdrawn by WON, Women's of Wrestling?
Wow. Women of Wrestling.
Wow.
I love WoW.
Wow outdrew Battle of the Belts.
What's her name? What's her name from Glow? Was it Glow?
The
Majors?
Beast?
Something Majors? Something Majors?
Selena I don't know.
Majors?
I don't watch it.
Selena Majors?
Does that not matter
Selena
to you?
Majors.
That one of their shows outdrew Battle of the Belts?
You're talking about this lady right here. Hold on, I'm gonna put her on the screen.
guy's gonna know so what I said.
It outdrew Battle of the Belts. You're telling me this lady right here outdrew Battle of the Belts, Miss Selena Majors?
She's on WoW right now?
Probably, bro. Look.
Shut up. You shut up.
I love Selena
I'm
Majors.
like, what?
Selena Majors is probably still on the WoW team. Come on, she's probably head trainer. Stop playing. Okay. Last question. And last question about this.
Dummy.
Last question. You are good old Jean-Paul Levesque, right? You're Paul Levesque. Okay. You see all of this that's happening in AEW with CM Punk and all this stuff. I think you probably know what question I'm about to ask.
Yes.
You see all this stuff that's going down. Do you go out of your way after the history of how he left the WWE, what he said about the WWE, and your father-in-law and how he runs his business, and about you, Mr. Levesque?
Sure.
Do you now offer CM Punk a contract? Do you think after everything he said and everything that's happened in his past year with AEW, do you give CM Punk a contract offer?
So if it's true that CM Punk did in fact tell Triple H, I don't got to work with, right? Here's the thing. I don't got to work with you. You have to work with me. I think that those words maintain to be true. Rumor is that that's what CM Punk said when he walked out. That's what he told Triple H. He told Triple H, here's the thing. I don't got to work with you. You have to work with me. And I think that in this case, if I were Paul, yeah, I would say business is business on this one. And you make that face, but even if not to fully go into it, I would do it on the strength just to needle Tony Khan at this point and to needle the entire no, Chris, you just said, right? If this is, damn it,
Quack. I'll write it.
Come on.
You slacking. I got it.
Every episode I gotta have one.
Keep talking.
Vern,
what are we at?
You're like Vern.
32 minutes. Early.
Perfect. Early. Got it out now.
Hey,
Vern, right? The homie done said all these things. He done talked about it, whatever. But it's like, yeah, but you know what though? After all the mess that old Tony's been talking, why not? If just for the rumor mill,
just
for the stories,
out of spite,
why not? It would hurt nothing to send out feelers.
Did
you remember what a storm it caused in the community when feelers were sent out to former talent to see if former talent are willing to allegedly? Remember all the former talent that were going to break contracts, and the great
Malachi Black was one of them. That's why we covered that.
The great Tony that was like, no one's leaving. Everyone's staying
have a contract
here
for 5 years. Yeah.
Remember all that? Where's all that energy? Where's all that energy? As I said, yes, I would contact if Bruno Sammartino can walk into the Hall of Fame, the man that said, I hope Vince McMahon dies, the man who ruined wrestling. If he can make amends, anything's possible.
Okay. So you offer a contract to CM Punk. Is it a offer where he's going to take it? Are you spending millions of dollars just to spite TK? Is that what you're saying? You're offering a multi-million-dollar contract.
I mean, in reality, if there's a chance to make money with Punk, there's a chance to make money with CM Punk. You don't think there's a chance to make money with him?
No.
The man as a one-man show, did he not help to draw $1 million as a one-man, $1 million, excuse me. Oh, he did $1 million gate, right?
$1 million gate. You think that was all just off the back of CM Punk?
I think it's hard. I think it's hard pressed to deny and say that he's
don't get me wrong.
He's not the biggest contributing factor. Is CM Punk?
Take away Punk. How much is that gate? $750? $800?
I'd say a lot of that gate merch money. You don't think Punk pushed a lot of merch?
Gate, two different things.
Yeah, just a ticket, just a
gate
ticket.
and merch.
The main event. That was what was the main event for that show?
It was Punk and Moxley, of course. Granted, that match, that show also had 14 other matches on the card. But what I'm saying is,
surely match number 9 drew the house. You're right. I'm sorry. Match number 9, whatever match number 9
probably
was,
Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs for 3 minutes. And how's that storyline going? That storyline's going great. Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks. Those guys are taking off on Dynamite.
Tangent. Did anything ever get said why that match went 3 minutes, or was it just 3 minutes because they had no time?
They worked again, I think, on Dynamite, and Ricky Starks went over. End of feud.
Okay.
I love that response.
Wow.
Okay.
So, because I truly was like, I thought you were gonna follow up with like a smile when you were just like, that was it. It's like,
no,
okay.
that was. This is my genuine smile. That was it. They worked
Shout out
again.
to Tony.
Ricky hit his pose. Ricky must pose, and then done deal.
Like I said to you off air, the story has to have a wrap up. Despite what Tony said today, stories always have to have a conclusion.
You need an end. You always need an end. Oh yeah, we're not even going to talk about what Tony said about Eric.
Just have ends.
Okay, so if I'm Levesque, I'm not touching CM Punk with a 330-foot pole.
Really? Not even going to send in a BS feeler.
Damaged goods. Damaged goods.
Oh, I'm not saying bring him in. I'm not saying really. Okay.
Unprofessional.
So you really hold Punk at fault here.
I'm not saying he's at fault. They all were wrong.
Yeah.
They all were wrong. Punk was especially unprofessional. Okay. You are working and you're pissed off, and you have HR come in and talk to you, and you just sit there and bury everybody you know that you work with right next to your boss. Right next to your boss. Like how close we are on this screen right now. That's how close you are to your boss. And you just bury him. You just bury him. You don't bury him intentionally, but in the long run, you bury TK. You show he has no control. He had no control over the situation. Meanwhile, when he leaves the room, your star, your number one guy, leaves the room, and you're still trying to be buddy with the press. Your number one guy is getting into a fight with the EVPs, other top guys of your company. All those guys were unprofessional, but Punk did it in a public setting where it was like, you can't do that. You can't. That's unprofessional. Number one.
So, but you don't think the EVPs and the whisper campaigns and just all the stuff they stirred, and the Adam Page going into business for himself on live television, and all the precursors, and the entire time that Punk didn't do anything really, right? Punk kind of just wrote it out, and then this was finally the explosion, the straw that broke the camel's back. And so I find that interesting but because I mean, but if we're talking apples to apples here, then these was EVPs who came in on an employee, though.
Completely unprofessional behind closed doors. I'm a big guy. I'm a big proponent of keeping it in house.
But Punk, we talked about Hot One CM Punk. He takes the dab. He takes
I love spicy
He takes
talk.
the dab.
Hold on. As a fan, I love spicy Punk. But I'm talking as a business owner running a $1 billion corporation that has to make money off of these people you bring in. I'm not bringing in CM Punk.
I thought you were talking about Tony again. I was like, $1 billion? What are you talking about?
No, Tony's a billionaire, no?
Oh, yes, but I was like, corporation. I was like,
no. I'm talking about Levesque. If I'm Levesque, the WWE, I'm not touching CM Punk because of how he handled himself as a professional. You are the number one draw in the company, and you felt like you had. I understand you're mad, you're pissed.
Yeah,
okay. You don't bring that out. What should have came out was there was an altercation after the show at All Out. There shouldn't have been. Punk went on this 20-minute rant. He went back to his locker room and got confronted, because that's what happened. That shouldn't have happened. It should have been CM Punk and the rest of the elite camp they butted heads backstage. Tony could have kept it under wraps. Something we don't want to discuss further investigation. Boom. Punk went out there. These guys couldn't manage a target. These efforts still think they're in Reseda. I'm old. I'm hurt. I work with effing children. Bro. Unprofessional. He doesn't do that next to Mr. McMahon. He doesn't. He doesn't do that.
He doesn't. You're right. He doesn't. But that's also a publicly traded company. It's not
a private company where
that's
you can get away with stuff
I
like
guess
that.
what my
that's
thought
why
is
I'm
just
saying I'm not touching him, bro.
Yeah,
He's
but
too much damaged goods.
I know, but I just think that you can't compare him because you're like, oh, he'd be sitting next to Vince, but it's like, but he's not. Tony's nowhere ever going to be Vince.
He's never going to be Vince.
It's not a publicly traded company. This wasn't a real media scrum. This was a bunch of news sites and like you and me.
WrestlingNews.co.
It was you and me. It was you and me reporting.
Hey, Tony. Vernon Frank from
Vernon Frank
from the
Pay Window Podcast. Got a question.
Question for you.
By the way,
MJF.
love the show. Love your show. I think you guys are great. That's my favorite part of when the talent walks out. Hey, because at media scrums, the press clap for the players when they walk in, and
they don't.
Nobody
claps for LeBron. Nobody claps for LeBron when he shows
when
up.
When LeBron comes in, they don't say, "Hey, man, so your match in '95, I really loved it when we did that spot in '95." But we're not here to talk about that. They don't do that in real sport.
They're fans that have credentials, bro.
That's why. Man. So that's why I'm like, you can't really compare, and that's part of the reason why I'm like,
I get that.
That's why I think Punk did it though, because I think Punk's like, you got to remember, I think he thought he could get away with it, but because in some weird way, right? Punk's been alluding to the fact that he is somehow he was office. That's the part of the story that I think we don't know, because
we don't know what role he had. Even TK in the Hawani interview had some little inkling of like he's got some kind of stake in it.
And that's why when you're like, oh, it's unprofessional, I'm like, yeah, but if I felt like I could do that, then I would. If I felt like
good point,
these jerks over here, EVPs, they couldn't. I made $1 million. I'm here trying to make money, and these
they're ruining my business. Yeah, my business. Why would he come out of his way to say my business? If
and
he
on
didn't
the
have
era
some kind
Hawani where KG Tony was on, why did KG Tony feel the need?
I don't want to answer that. We're not going to answer
that. No, I appreciate the question. I do. I know you have to ask the question. I know you have to ask it.
I'm not going to answer that. I can't. Go ahead. What you want to say?
But no. But tune into my show at 7 p.m. Give you the network. I'm going to throw a plug. Throw a plug.
Can I go use the bathroom real quick? I've been drinking this coffee, and I'll be.
So that's the part of the story. Anyway, back to the point. But that's the part of the story that I think you can't discount. Is that the professionalism aspect is truth. If it's Swerve Scott that did this, if it's Wardlow that did
somebody who didn't have a big stake in the game, I get what you're saying.
One of the boys,
just an employee. I feel you, but okay,
Punk
I'm with you.
Was a number 1, number 2 guy, yes, but it's the fact that there's this just unknown is like. Did he have an executive role? Did he have a role in the high? If he had a different role,
something.
Okay, then he felt like he could have walked up there and said what he said. Because if he'd got up there and just gotten PO'd and just said whatever, just F this, F that, but he didn't. Like you said, he talked about it in some respects coded, in other times he just hit it right on the head. But he never says Nick, Matt. He never says Kenny.
EVPs, can't run a target, Reseda, stuff like that. So
he alludes. That's my only critique of it, of that idea. But like, I still think Punk has something that would draw people. It would draw a rating. You would get your money. I'll say this: even if it's just for a one night, contract, right? Like to steal the house. Like Cornette always talks about stealing the house.
Yeah,
that it's an old Memphis saying that you steal the house, right? Bring an attraction that even though once the bell rings, it's all over because the people
doesn't matter. Yeah,
but for that the build up and to the attraction of it, so they can steal a house. Maybe you can steal a house. Who knows?
I don't know. I wouldn't touch him. To me, it feels like damaged goods, and I wouldn't even risk it because the man's been hurt for the majority of the time he was with AEW.
Speaking of hurt. Talking about Larry, what's this Larry story?
We didn't even get to Larry.
Yes, you said hurt and Larry. What? Tell me the Larry story. I don't know the Larry story. I don't know this news. This is news to me.
This is from comicbook.com.
Uh-oh.
AEW. This is by Connor Casey today at 7:44 p.m. This is why I told you this is fresh.
Yeah, I haven't heard this news.
CM Punk's dog Larry was reportedly injured in the brawl out. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing because if this is true, no animals should be hurt at all. But I just love how this is the news that they're coming out with, and your face just sells it even more. All right, let me read this. Before you do a take. This is short. New details from the locker room brawl involving CM Punk, Omega, the Bucks, and Ace Steel emerged on Wednesday via Wrestling Inc. Nick Houseman wrote that Punk was advised to stay quiet after the incident, and that Punk didn't see the explosive comments he made during the post-show scrum as that big of a deal. I'm going to keep reading. Contradicting that's crazy.
Why did you do the Michelle Tanner? You did Michelle Tanner.
I'm sorry. I'm like,
you put your head.
I went back. I took a back. I was like, wait a minute. Contradicting stories about what happened afterward quickly emerged, with one side claiming the Young Bucks kicked in CM Punk's locker room door, while other side claimed Punk threw the first punch after he felt threatened. A consistent detail from both sides involved Ace Steel, stating he bit Omega during the altercation. There were also reports that Omega was trying to protect Punk's dog, Larry, during the incident. But Houseman's report states that when Punk's door was kicked in, it accidentally hit Larry in the face, and 2 of his teeth had to be removed. Stop. Let me finish. I should not be laughing because if this is true, I feel so bad. But just this, okay. It was noted to us, this is a quote, this is by Houseman. It was noted to us that Punk felt threatened and reacted in a legal way under Illinois Castle Doctrine laws, which allow for the use of force in defense of a person in their dwelling. At this time, there is no litigation against Punk on behalf of anyone involved. This story is developing. Okay, so I'm sorry. I should not be laughing because no harm to an animal is funny. No harm to an animal is funny. I'm laughing at the fact that this is developing news. That the fact that this came out like Larry, CM Punk's dog, was injured during the brawl, and this is the most that they can get out of the update is what's humoring me. And your reaction is great because you're like, wait, what? So talk to me about how you're feeling about all of that I read to you.
Well, okay, so off the top, tell the internet lawyers to relax. Under statute 39 of section.
What was that?
Shut up.
Illinois doctrine. Like, stop.
God, that is probably my number one thing. When Vern travels to the basement, and I'm always telling you, hey Frank, guess all the Reddit lawyers are out today, and all the Reddit estate lawyers. Anytime someone dies or something happens, well, actually, if you look up statute, everyone's got a link, and it's like, why are we doing this?
Like,
just shut up.
Just stop.
Shut up to that article. Thank you for the information, but shut up with this. He was protecting in Illinois statute. Shut up.
Ridiculous.
Anyway, so if it's true, now that's a different wrinkle. If it's true that his dog caught an L to the face, caught the door to the face,
he lost 2 teeth. Crazy.
All I'm saying is, then I stand with Punk.
You've been standing with Punk, though.
I've been standing with Punk, but now I double stand with Punk.
Flag.
Now I'm about to go get the T-shirt before they're officially done on AW websites. I'm gonna get mine.
All right, so I'm sorry.
If he did, because then you're telling me he's defending. Because then I'm like, bro, he didn't throw the first punch. He defended Larry.
He defended Larry when the door got kicked in.
He's defending Larry. Then on that end, FTK. TK hates dogs.
Stop. Okay.
I'm done. I'm not going to go down that road. This is a family show.
So, Punk, this is what hit me and what we were just talking about. This shows me that he definitely had some kind of stake in the company. Punk didn't see the explosive comments he made during the post-show scrum
and that
big of a deal. Yes. That right there makes me go, oh, okay. So people knew this stuff was brewing. They kind of tried to keep it under wraps to kind of like, hey, don't bring it up. And Punk was just like, you know what? I got stake in this company just as much as they do. I'm gonna talk my shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk my talk.
I told you, yeah.
So I give that still unprofessional to me in my eyes. In a grand scheme of things, as a $1 billion company, if I were to try to bring him back, I wouldn't bring him back because of how unprofessional he was. Granted, I'll let him say his piece, But if I feel like I can't touch that, especially right now, I can't touch that. Can't be like, oh, we got to bring in Punk. He got released. He got his contract bought. I got to bring him in right now. Nah. With everything you got going on, you're bringing in new roster guys. You don't need CM Punk. CM Punk is 4. I think we were talking about it during training.
Like he's like 6 months out, but he's at least a year. He's got like if you won't see him on the TV for at least another 2 years.
I hope we never see him again. To be honest, I'll say it right now. I hope I never see CM Punk again. I won't miss him if he comes back.
We said it at the beginning. I was never clamoring for CM. I was never chanting CM Punk when he was around. So that he came back, it was like okay.
Like
so now that he's gone again,
he's definitely a draw.
Yeah. I would be I'd be remiss to be like, oh, CM Punk, he's not a draw.
Never drew a dime. Never drew a dime.
Of course, a draw, but
definitely a draw
for me. Just didn't grab me that he didn't grab me that way.
Okay, so let's move on. Where do you want to go? Do you want to go? I kind of want to save my man Scott Steiner for later.
Yeah,
do you want to stay at it? Do you want to stay at AEW or do you want to go to? Oh, I'm sorry, we got to go to Impact. Let's go to Impact.
Oh, you want to cover our?
We got to do our 2 week. This is our 2 week recap. So for those who haven't heard.
Do you want to read the recap? Do you want me to pull up the show?
You want to pull up the results?
Yeah, pull up the show results.
Get them while I do the intro to this.
Okay, yeah.
Get them while I do the intro to this. Okay. So if you hadn't heard, the last episode 17 was RIP and Antonio. What? RIP Antonio Inoki. I apologize for putting it out late. I was in Missouri on a business trip, so I apologize for that. Didn't get it out in time, but it is out now, video and audio, on all platforms. As a matter of fact, let me hit the banner. If you don't know, this is called stalling in the business, which is giving you more time to look for what you need to look for. Banners are up now. So by the way, while we say that, if you're watching on YouTube, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. Audio versions are available, as you see on the bottom, on Spotify, Anchor, Amazon Music, Radio Public, and Stitcher. Still working on Apple Music. We're going to get there. But anyway, yes, on episode 17, we covered Bound for Glory, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yep, we covered Bound for Glory because we challenged ourselves. Your screen is so bright right now. We challenged ourselves.
Really?
Yeah, it just went away. Probably the screen you were looking at.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, really?
Vern and I, when I say we, challenged ourselves to give Impact 4 weeks of wrestling programming. Lance Storm, who we respect, he said, you know what? You give us 4 weeks. You'll find something that you are a fan of and you'll be able to cling on to and like Impact Wrestling. Okay. So we watched Bound for Glory. Sorry. Okay. We watched Bound for Glory. Good timing. We watched Bound for Glory. The face you're making is not good. You watched the two, I think, live or something like that. Maybe the day after. I caught up 2 days ago because I was out in Missouri. I couldn't access Impact to watch it. So I just saw the week after Bound for Glory and last week's, and we're gonna have to watch next week's. I mean, this week's to tomorrow. We caught all of that. To sum it all up. So, do you want to go? Let's do the 10-13 episode of Impact.
Oh, 10-13. Oh,
we need 10-13 and we need 10-20. Right. So yeah,
let me pull up 10-13. I got.
You have it, or do I need to keep stalling?
10-13. I got it.
Okay, so go ahead and read the results. I don't know if you're going to do segment. You're going to just do matches. Just go ahead. We're doing this.
I'll just real quick just tell you what was on the show, and then I'll tell you just give you real quick my feelings on it, perhaps as they happened.
Okay.
Or I'll you maybe yours. Just see the opening segment. Sure. We had Impact World Champion Josh Alexander kick off the show.
Yeah.
And
this
then
is post Bound for Glory, right? 10-13.
Post Bound for Glory. And then we had Giselle, VXT, and
Wait. You're just going to read through all of them, right? We're not going to comment on everything?
Oh, I'm just going to give it, just read through real quick, and then...
Sure, go ahead. Do you think?
We'll go back. Yeah, just you know. I just want to give the card.
Sure, go ahead.
Giselle Shaw, VXT versus Death Dolls, Matt Cardona, and Bhupinder Gujar. I apologize.
Nice. Good job. No, good job. You did it.
That was it. Okay, great.
That was it.
Then we had a scramble match: Black Tarsus with Crazy Stevie versus Trey Miguel versus Alex Zane versus Yuya Uemura versus Laredo Kid.
Something like
Uemura, Laredo Kid versus Kenny King. Yep. Then Killer Kelly versus Tasha Steelz, and the main event was Josh Alexander versus Bobby Fish.
Bobby Fish. Okay, so let's go back to the opening of the show. That was a 2015 WWE opener to the show. The segment took about 20 some odd minutes. A lot of talking between Bully Ray, Alexander, Moose, Steve Macklin, and Bobby Fish, all to get to Bobby Fish calling out Josh Alexander to wrestle that night. So it took 20 minutes. I get what they're trying to do, because when we get to the second week, we see what they're trying to do here with Bully Ray. The Bully Ray character is exactly what you hear. It's a bully. He was a bully. He was a bad guy. You couldn't trust Bully. For a year, he seemed like the good guy babyface, and then he turned on Hogan and I think Jeff Hardy and became the bully character of the Aces and Eights. I was watching it still then. Yes. I was still watching Impact Wrestling. I'm a glutton for punishment. But anyway, so everybody that was in that promo was saying, if there's one thing that stands true about all of us, you can't trust Bully Ray. You can't trust Bully Ray farther than you can throw him. That was the story. They were calling him a scumbag and this, that, and the third. The thing that stuck with me the most in that promo was the silence. It was so quiet in that building. If I wanted to talk to you, I think I'm being too loud right now. It was
honestly, I would have been like,
so quiet.
I would have said, "Shh, you're talking too loud."
Right?
I think they could hear us on camera. They're talking too loud.
I thought we were in church. It was so quiet. It was so quiet. How I love that face you just made.
It was so quiet, right? Like,
it was quiet.
So
what did
that
talk to me.
Was the eeriness of that show.
Yeah.
Was that so? Typically, what every review or commentary about Impact is the crowd is just raw. They're into everything, and the crowd, and they love it and raw.
And mind you, this is an Albany crowd that just got a pay-per-view the day before. So they're back for more wrestling.
That crowd, they were into stuff.
Oh, yes, yes.
This opening segment,
that promo.
This opening segment felt like the South Park episode of wrestling, where it was just like, we're just going to tell stories that lead into more exposition and plot and more exposition and plot.
South Park
and like,
I love that.
It was just that because it was like, do you remember? It was like Josh Alexander came out and then he calls out Bully Ray, right? He says a little deal, Bully Ray, and it was just like you said, the dead silence of like, Bully Ray.
Oof, it was tough.
Come out. Then the music hits. Bully Ray comes out. And then like Bully Ray's cutting a good promo for what it is, but it's
absolutely
silent.
It's
and
rough.
He's like trying to be like, come on, man. And then out of nowhere, music hit. And that was the part that killed me, that made it feel like South Park, is that there was choreographed music for every entrance. Every guy came and stood in a certain spot, gave space for the next person to come and stand. And hey, I've got a monologue I'm going to give you. I'm going to share my long monologue, so prepare to listen to me. And I'm going to hit some jokes, and I'll even give a pause for the crowd to laugh. Then Moose came out. Moose did his part. Then Bobby Fish. So Bobby Fish came out, and he just blast Bobby Fish, and that's the part with the meme. I'm sure y'all have seen it, where Bobby Fish drops his line, "Stop me when I'm lying," or whatever he said, and just dead silence. One guy in the back is like, yeah.
Oh, it was rough.
And Bobby, and all of that to get to the ring for Bobby Fish to say, "And I'm going to call my shot." And it was like, you couldn't have just done that from the gate? We needed all this exposition. And I get it, right? Like you said, they're trying to turn Bully Ray and become this honorable person, which is whatever. But did I need 27 minutes of non-stop promo that led into more promo, that led into more promo? And I get it. You build a story, but we don't have to tell me the first 4 chapters in one sitting.
Okay. So I was just looking to try and find attendance for Bound for Glory. Yeah. According to Cage Match, there was 650 people there. That Armory can seat up to 4,000 people. They had 650 people there for that show. I'm guessing for the impact after, it was probably significantly less.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find it. They're almost at 1,000 episodes. That's crazy.
Absolutely.
To think that they're almost at 1,000 episodes is crazy.
The Killer Kelly Tasha Steelz match,
terrible. It doesn't have an attendance. I don't rock with Tasha. I don't rock with Tasha.
I don't either. I struggle. I just struggle with the gimmick. And like I told you, that's a personal thing. Like, just for me, I struggle with gimmicks that rely on like a ethnic stereotype that is just like, it's not lifting the best quality of that stereotype. It's like, I'm gonna hit on the one part of it, and I'm just gonna skirt. I'm gonna like do the things that's just like that makes you cringe. But she's younger than me, right? But I guess I gotta frame that she's younger than us, so it's right. Like, I guess I can't cringe that hard because she's not our age. So why am I doing that? But I guess.
Do you want to? How old is she? Do you want to say that again?
How old is she?
Tasha Steelz is an 80s baby. Tasha Steelz is 35 years old, sir. She's our peer.
Okay. All right. I take back what I just said then. It is cringe as hell to hear her say, occur when she does stuff like that. It's just like, because it's like, it's that space where like, all right, it doesn't feel like you're doing a gimmick. It feels like you're mocking it.
It seems like feels like swerve. It's a swerve thing you talked about.
That swerve thing where like it just feels inauthentic. Like, it doesn't feel like this is who you are.
Yeah, you're forcing
it. This is a put on. So
yeah. Yep.
I didn't care for it. Tasha Steelz. When I see Tasha Steelz, it makes me. I hate it when she's on Busted Open. I hate it because it's just like, do you really talk like this? Like, is any part of you like, yo, let me tell you something. You know what I'm saying? With a little mommy like me, you know what I mean? Like, do you really talk like that? Is that your actual cadence in normal everyday speech? Like, just pick a cadence that's normal. You don't gotta Rosie Perez it up and like and show me you Latin from the hood. Like, I get it, you're Latin from the hood. Okay, you are that.
What else? What else? Right?
So, but the backstage. Okay, the one thing that they do that no other promotion does is the way they shoot their backstages is unique. It looks like a movie. Every time you see their backstage, it's shot in a way that looks like a movie.
It's different camera lenses that allow that. And they don't, if I'm not mistaken, they do not acknowledge the camera unless they're doing the traditional, well, blah, blah, blah. What do you think of this? And then camera. And I think they rarely.
Oh, they don't do the like follow me cameraman stuff?
I don't think they do that at all. I think the camera is invisible to the wrestler.
Okay.
Which is funny because I just saw an AEW promo where I'm sorry, it was an Impact. Actually, it was an Impact promo I was seeing. It was the next show that we're going to talk about with the Kingdom. So remind me for the 1020 show. We're going to talk about the Kingdom and their promo and how much I didn't like that. But let's move on to the
so just the backstage thing, that backstage with Sammy, where Sammy tackles the two guys in yellow hoodies, and he you don't remember, and he gets in the guy's face. He's like, "I'm coming for you," and he starts yelling.
I must have missed that. I'm lucky enough to miss that. I didn't see that. Sammy, you sure that wasn't last week? 1020? That wasn't on 1013.
No. Yes, it was. Yes, it was, because it was followed by the Scott D'Amore, Josh Alexander. Hey, Josh, I know Bully. All right.
I saw that. I must have
right before that was the Sammy Callahan.
Okay, I must have just missed it. Okay, well, thank God.
Okay, the scramble match was an actual scramble. It was literally scrambled eggs.
Can I ask you a question?
Shoot.
Why is Kenny King here? Why has he never been anywhere else besides Ring of Honor and Impact Wrestling? I've always been high on Kenny King.
Yeah.
He has it. He has the look. He can talk.
Did Kenny King fall? Kenny King was All Night Express, right? Him and Red Titus?
Yeah.
I don't know. I would honestly say the same thing with him and Red Titus.
I feel like they would have been a decent tag team anywhere else. Any of the big major companies.
Well,
even Kenny King What's up?
Remember, Red Titus was on. Weren't Red Titus and Kenny King signed? Didn't they perform at that first ROH comeback show when they all dropped the belts to AEW and got ushered out the door?
Was he there for that? Was he there for that? I mean, that would make sense why they're doing Honor No More. He works a lot of Mexico, CMLL. I'm looking.
Okay, maybe he wasn't then. All right, I thought maybe Kenny King was at that show.
He doesn't do a lot of indies. He does a lot of Impact, bro.
So maybe maybe he's just been signed to Impact. Maybe he's got.
Are you talking about Final Battle? Final Battle. He lost to Shane Taylor. They went 18 minutes. That's 2021. I'm sorry.
Oh, then maybe he didn't work it. Okay.
That's his last Ring of Honor was 2021.
Oh, wow.
Final Battle, End of an Era, Baltimore, Maryland. Was that the show ran by AEW? No, right? No. Gresham defeats Jay Lethal for the title. No.
Okay, then no.
No. So he hasn't worked Ring of Honor, according to this, in over a year.
All right, then. Then maybe he's been signed to Impact. I don't know, Franny.
That's the thing. That's the thing with me, though. I'm thinking like this guy, Kenny King.
Maybe it's a thing. I can speculate. Is it a Jay Lethal thing? Does he feel a sense of loyalty that he's going to stay here for his whole career and he's not going anywhere else?
I bet that they're in that. He was also in TNA in 2015. He was with Samoa Joe and MVP, the Beatdown Clan. That's right. I don't remember the BDK, the Beatdown Clan, the BDK, brother. It was Low Key, Samoa Joe, Kenny King, and MVP. They were the BDK, the Beatdown Clan. He's always worked He's a Ring of Honor guy, bro. I'm going through all of his cage matches. There's over 600.
So then, what'd you think of his match? What'd you think of the scramble here?
Terrible. You said scrambled eggs. I'm going to say scrambled eggs that weren't cooked long enough. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Did you like Trey Miguel winning?
Sure.
Did you like in the very next promo, Trey Miguel was downstairs in the parking lot
dressed and fine. Like, this wasn't pre-recorded at all. I forgot who else was in that promo. The X Division it was Kazarian,
Mike Bailey, and Frank Kazarian.
Bailey, I've never heard Bailey speak. Let's talk about that. Let's forget the X Division match, because I feel like that match, it was just to showcase Zayn and Miguel. Zayn looked good. Toru's whatever. King whatever.
Yeah, that match was an actual indie scramble match where there's no logic, no nothing. Just go do moves.
Oh, man, I booked too many guys. You six. So y'all together. Yeah, whatever.
Just don't kill each other. That was just don't kill each other, guys.
And it was bang, 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 bang. I can't register anything. Match over. Trey Miguel wins. Huh? Okay.
Now, Mike Bailey. What'd you like about Mike Bailey? Talk about Mike Bailey. What'd you like about him?
Mike Bailey. I liked how he sounded speaking. His voice, the way he cut his promo, showing tons of respect to Kazarian, being a white meat babyface. I liked it. I'm now. We're gonna talk about it at the end of this. I don't understand why they dropped the belt to him, even with what they did afterwards. Where they went, now I'm like, oh no, this was dumb. You should have kept it on Speedball, and you could have gotten to where you got a different way.
Yeah, I was like, maybe Speedball asked for it to come off. Like, I was just like, were you just trying to reset the storylines or something? Because remember, right, Bound for Glory is the reset mode, but I'm like, there was an easier way to get here.
Yeah,
then
we'll get there.
He takes the Elder Kazarian, who didn't need the win.
Right.
Well, anyway.
We'll get there. What did you think about that promo?
I don't get Mike Bailey. I'm sorry. I don't get Mike Bailey at all. I watch Mike Bailey in the ring. Nothing about Mike Bailey, the veneers, nothing about Mike Bailey just sticks except the veneers. Every time he smiles, I'm just like, he has the widest smile ever. His teeth glow.
Oh man.
The mullet, the style, I'm just not a fan of the
big striker.
The strikers, the kicks, because after a while because it's a lot of the 0 to 100 style of wrestling of
very PWG-ish.
sell, kick,
superhero.
Sell. Yeah. So I've watched 2 current Mike Bailey matches, and I can understand why people get excited, big kicks, snug, real violent sounding slaps, etc. But not my
So
taste of wrestler.
I think that is kind of like the new style of being a high flyer. So like being
you have to do submission work to be a high flyer now.
No. What I'm saying is, so like back in the day, being a high flyer.
You mean like a junior heavyweight,
right?
Yeah.
It was kind of taboo. You had to be this big, strong guy to be a wrestler. Oh, you're a little high flyer, whatever. I feel like now you're a striker. You're a striker. Everybody wants to be a striker now, and it's like
MMA.
okay,
MMA.
right? So I rocks with Speedball. I like them. But to each their own. But you want to move on? Okay. You want to go to
we can
we can skip that. We can skip that.
Doesn't matter. Cardona.
I think it sets up a 6-man or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, Cardona Gujar.
I liked that match for as short as it was. That was the most TV match out of all the matches that were on that night, besides the main event. I actually liked that match.
You just said it was a TV wrestling match.
It was a TV match. The Bhupinder, he did fine. It's not like he listened to Matt because I had it in the car while I was working.
Okay.
And
so
I could hear Matt just on and on throughout the match. I'm like, okay, and I didn't mind it. It was a good TV match. It was probably one of the better matches of the night out of the other ones besides the main event.
Then we had video package about Masha and Jordan Grace.
Video package, whatever.
They're
just filling out. They're just finishing the story.
Not a fan of I'm gonna kill you. I still don't get how that's okay. That's Masha's thing. I'm gonna kill you.
I'm gonna kill you. Yeah. I'm gonna murder you. I'm literally gonna take a knife, stab you in the stomach, and twist it. I'm gonna kill you, Vern. Just because this is wrestling. What's next? I'm bringing a gun, Brian Pillman style.
Pillman Mickey James. What'd you think about the Mickey James interview?
Listen, Mama Mickey. I love me some Mama Mickey.
She's growing on me. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Mickey, baby.
Mickey, final run Mickey. I'm in for the final rodeo Mickey.
I'm digging
it. Her promo, I was like, okay, Mickey, good look.
Was it her, Taylor Wilde, Jordan Grace, right? Was that this week or was that the second week?
No, there was her and VXT.
Yeah.
Deanna Purrazzo,
maybe that's next
Shaw,
week's show.
And Chelsea
I'm
Green.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too. Some of these shows blend together in my brain. I'm looking at results right now thinking, I thought the same thing you just said.
I thought it was 10-20. Okay, so listen, I love me some Mama Mickey. I will not say the bad thing about her. She's the only reason why I listen on Wednesdays. I'll bust it open. Good old Mama Mickey.
That was good promo on her. Shout out to her. I was digging her.
She doesn't do a bad promo. So
the main event, Josh Alexander, Bobby Fish.
Bobby Fish is a good hand. He's not a main eventer. Him and Josh Alexander had decent chemistry. But yeah, it's Bobby Fish. And I like Bobby Fish. I like Bobby Fish more than I like Kyle O'Reilly. And listen how I'm talking about Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish is not a main eventer. Bobby Fish is a good hand. I'll look you right in the eye and say it. Bobby Fish is a good hand.
Like how you're like,
he's not a main eventer. He's not a main eventer. It's just they went 13. I didn't even realize they went that long. I thought they went less than that. Josh, you say Mickey's growing on you. Josh is growing on me as a champion, carrying the company.
He's legit.
I believe Josh Alexander as a champion.
Me too.
I like Josh in that position.
But I could use less Josh on the mic trying to do those promos where people are carrying on for too long. That at the beginning, I go back to the beginning, was clunky. So 1 to 5, what do you rate this show?
2.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. All right, real quick, let's run through 10-20.
Sure.
10-20 real quick.
I'm going to get it up.
Bully Ray Dreamer, it was a tag match. Oh, yeah. Last show, we forgot to mention that. Last show, there was a tag match that Bully Ray
Fat and the Furious, right again. Golly.
Yeah, the Fat and the Furious versus Chris Bay and Juice Robinson.
So it's supposed to be Chris Bay and Ace Austin.
Yes.
That's what the challenge was laid out. And for some reason, Ace Austin got laid out and they don't know who did it. So they imply that it's Bully. That's the story. Right. The story is, it was Bully. Why you hit him with the Price is Right fail? That's messed up. So they imply that it's Bully. Juice came out all hot. Oh, man, it was you, Bully. I know it was you. He's coming down to the ring. He's taping up. Oh, go ahead.
It's South Park Wrestling. It was, here's a match going to happen. Here's an insult. Bully Ray, I've come to defend the honor of my fallen friend. It was like, what is going on? Anyway, go ahead. Please talk about Juice Robinson. He comes out taping his fist. You liked it. You're a fan.
I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. The match was what it was.
How do you feel about Juice? Are you a Juice guy? What am I missing on Juice? What am I missing on him?
Can I tell you something? When I saw Juice and he was with Austin and Bay, I was like, is that Bo Dallas? I swear to you. I was like, is that Bo Dallas with the big beard? And I'm looking and I'm like, oh, that's Juice Robinson. Couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah, I've never understood Juice after the New Japan run when everybody became a fan. I was
everybody liked him, yeah, because he just
I'm missing the boat on this one because I don't get it. Is it just a Fed bad thing?
I don't know. It's Juice. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't
okay.
know.
Moving on.
The match was okay and all that, but yeah.
We had promos. You had a promo from
the promo from Tommy and Bully again with Moose.
Tommy Bully and Rhino and Heath.
Rhino and Heath. Yep.
Then we had Mia Yim versus Taylor Wilde.
Decent match. Taylor got blown up towards the end. That was my note of it. I said, oh man, she's blown up. About 7 minutes in, they started going slow motion. They started missing spots. I said, Taylor's blown up. Because Taylor hasn't been doing this consistently. Mia's been it. Taylor was gone. Like, I was like, oh, Taylor, you are blown up. You need to slow it down. Slow it down.
She was going to have to hold the top ropes to take some of those bumps. She was like, hold on now. Anyway.
Yes, she was. But go ahead.
Then we had next week Impact. Giselle Shaw, VXT will battle Jordan Grace, Mickie James, Taylor Wilde, 6-man tag.
Yeah, because they had the schmaz at the end.
And then if Mickie gets pinned in the match, she's done.
They put that as a part of it?
It's an
with the 6-man?
Yes.
But
if she gets pinned, if Mickie gets pinned in any way, shape, or form, regardless of the match, if she gets pinned, she's done. So I was like, okay, there's a loophole that you just tie that loophole up.
Sure.
So if anyone pins her, she's done.
She's done. I like that.
All right.
And hold on, before you keep going, I don't know if you noticed. I think Mickie said something in her promo. It might have been last week, where she said she wants to get to the championship, and she hopes that Jordan Grace is there.
Yes,
right.
Yes,
what did I mention? I said what I think is going to happen with the storyline. She's gonna get to Jordan Grace because you were asking about Masha, and you're like, oh, was that the Charlotte story, Charlotte Asuka story? I said yes, because I think the story is supposed to end. She's supposed to end Mickey's career. I think that's what it's going to be. And the seeds have been planted. But go ahead. Go ahead. My favorite segment of the entire two shows. Go to
your favorite segment was Eddie Edwards. Eddie Edwards promo.
We believe in Joe Hendry.
Yeah. Wait, no. Then was the Eddie Edwards promo.
Yeah.
Yo, Eddie's not a bad promo every now and then, because sometimes his promos are rough.
You know what I'll give him?
It feels like Eddie's acting. That's the problem. It doesn't feel
like
Eddie's.
I feel like Eddie is just being Eddie. I think that's why. So sometimes Eddie's hit and miss. I don't think Eddie's acting. I feel like my homegirl Alicia, she's putting on her acting chops. I feel like Alicia, because listen, I've talked to Alicia plenty of times. The Alicia you see on television and Fall River Alicia that she used to steal my marker whenever we had intermission. That ain't the same Alicia, bro. That's not the same girl. So like I said, she put on her acting. So I don't know about Eddie, but go ahead. Say what you're saying.
Man, sure. Shout out to Eddie. Frank Kazarian. We didn't talk about, he gave back the title. He relinquishes the title.
That was at the end of the show.
Oh, was it? I'm sorry. Okay, I apologize.
He cashed in option C, which was created.
Okay, wait. I'm sorry. Wait, let's not skip it. Let's go in order. My bad.
Years ago.
Real quick. Joe, you had Joe Hendry, Jason Hotch, and Joe Hendry. He's a star.
We believe.
You put me on to that Joe Hendry, and you ain't lying.
Yes!
I was like, I watched the whole thing this time. I was like, okay, I get it now.
I love Joe Hendry, and I didn't know that's what they were doing with him at Impact, because the first time I saw him was in that Rumble, and I was like, Joe Hendry's here, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I saw the segment. It's like, don't say his name. Say whose name? and then he comes out the locker. It's so good. It's so good. I love Joe Hendry.
I'm understanding it more. Then we had a segment from Josh Alexander, Don't Ever Trust Bully segment.
Yeah.
They're really gonna go full hog with this whole bully has honor thing.
Yeah.
Rich Swann versus Eric Young.
That was only 3 minutes. Wow. Eric Young, what do you think? Okay, so you're not the biggest fan of Eric Young.
I have despised Eric Young since the first day I laid eyes on him.
I remember
said, this is a worker I do not like.
I remember you said my favorite Eric Young is released Eric Young. I'll never forget
Eric Young, I apologize. I was being a wild hating ass fan. I apologize.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Has Eric Young grown any bit on you at all? This is like the 17th rendition of Eric Young.
So I don't know what white on white tattooed up bald-headed Eric Young is about.
Thick. That boy thick now. Oh my Lord, he's thick.
I understood Insanity. Was that the name of the gimmick?
Sanity.
What was the name of
Sawyer I understood Fulton, Nikki Cross, Eric Young, and Damo. Big Damo.
Okay, yeah, Big Damo. Whatever that
I can't remember his name was.
Like leader thing they had going on. That made sense to me. I dug that.
It's that E-Dust. They sprinkled that E-Dust on him.
I guess. Because since then, whatever
it's violent by design. It's violent by design. Nope.
This ain't it. But Eric Young, right now, this Eric Young, I unfortunately will have to revert to my previous comment about him. You will
tolerate it.
I'll tolerate it, but I don't get it. I still don't get it. I just never understood Eric Young. Him as a talent in terms of work, but personality, I've never noticed it. It ain't for me.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. I'm gonna leave that
on. Then we had the Major Brothers. They're back. They got tag team gold in mind.
So that is the third tag team that has talked about wanting gold. We didn't talk about that promo before. The Guns went to go talk. They were interrupted by Slater and Heath. Slater is his slave name. By Heath and Rhino, saying, "Oh, we got our shot." So that's 2 teams there. Then the major players, is that what they're called now? Major players or whatever it is.
Yeah, the major players.
The Edgeheads. The Edgeheads are now
players. Oh, yeah, give them that heat.
The major players are now going for tag team gold. So, yeah.
And then guess what happens in the main event for the tag team straps? The Kingdom, who are your champions, with Maria Kanellis Bennett against
We'll cover that topic next, too.
And Rhino. Your champions take the L. Gore.
I liked the finish. I liked the finish.
Yeah, I thought the finish was creative.
Whole lot of backfiring.
And the crowd got into it.
Yeah, it was like bang, bang, bang. He hits the Gore. I was like, ooh, good finish. When I saw it, I was like,
Maria got involved. They bumped the manager. It meant something.
Maria died. Yeah,
but it meant something. Yep. It was a huge bump and it meant something. I got no complaints about the finish of the match. The Kingdom put them over, but the heavy emphasis on all of a sudden tag teams, and then like the tag team champs just lose the belts, and
we know why.
Up on this show.
We know why.
I know.
And we're gonna talk. We'll talk about that next.
But I don't know. My mind was just my inner fan tells me, do you just have to give your tells all throughout the show? Your tag team titles just change hands.
They had the promo too. And there was no Eddie there, right? Maria was talking. She was leading the promo.
Yeah. I forgot. Yes, they did the weird thing with PCO, where PCO was like,
Eddie! I was like, yo, what?
And then Vincent was just doing his sharks, the Sharks and the Jets thing, where he was just
So what I wanted to point out about that, you made a point about their promos, right? You like how they shoot their promos because it's shot like a movie, as opposed to, regular wrestling promo look. That was it
adds at times a very unnecessary moment of dramaticism, right? Whenever they interview what's his face, who's the backstage authority figure?
Scott D'Amore.
anytime Scott D'Amore's on, I swear it's like they always shoot him with shadow lighting, and it's always like Scott D'Amore is like, "Let me tell you something, guys. You don't have to." And it's like why does he do
but
that?
They always act like if the camera's not there, right?
Yeah.
So for the entire promo, Maria, Taven, PCO, Kenny King, Vincent, they all act if the camera's not there. And then Mike Bennett speaks, and he speaks right at the camera. And I'm like, how are you the one breaking the fourth wall? Nobody else in this promo did. And that's what confused the hell out of me, because he's cutting traditional wrestler promo, and that's not what they do there. They don't cut they haven't done that. My God, when they started doing that cinematic stuff was when I was watching it religiously, like 7 years ago, when Jeremy Borash was still there. Yeah. When Borash was still there, they were cutting it like that years ago. And I always thought, man, that's interesting, because they're not filming it the way normal wrestling is filmed. Yeah. And I was like, that's a cool dynamic to have. Stick out from everybody else. I like that. But then Bennett
can you tell us now about option C now that the main event has happened? Tell us about option C. Can you break down option C for us?
So option C was invented by Aries and Hogan on television. Aries was the X Division champion. He had, I can't remember the two options. Option A was something else. Option B was to see now I have to have the
I didn't know this was a thing, because when he brought this up, I was like, oh, there's a whole history. Like so to be perfectly honest, I skipped through this show because the other ones were like, there were moments where I was just like, yeah, I gotta go. I'm fast forwarding it.
Okay. The thing was, it's for Destination X, which is the X Division pay-per-view they used to do, right? It's the X Division pay-per-view. I don't think they do them anymore. Yeah, it seems like they stopped in 2015. And even Spud, Drake Maverick used this. Aries was the one who did it. Sabin did it with Bully Ray. They showed that promo. You know, I'm a bad guy and I do bad things. They did that. That's where he cashed in option C. So I'm going to read it straight from Wikipedia, because I feel like I'm going to butcher it. Option C is a concept in which the current X Division champion may voluntarily vacate the championship in exchange for a World Heavyweight Championship match. It began in 2012 of June, when then champion Austin Aries said that he was not satisfied with being just the X Division champion, which led to then general manager Hulk Hogan offering him a match for the World Heavyweight Championship, but only if he first vacated the X Division championship. Aries agreed to Hogan's terms on the condition that the future X Division champions be given the same opportunity. So this is a 10-year-old concept.
Wow.
This is a 10-year-old concept.
Okay. Shout out to them then for the deep cut, because I would have never been like, that's a deep cut.
I wish I can tell you what option A and option B were, but those were the options that Hogan had given him on TV. He's like, you've got this option, you've got that option. And Aries was like, how about option C? And it was the way Aries delivered it. You know, Aries is a good talker. The way Aries delivered it, it was like, ooh, option C. And it's just like cashing in Money in the Bank kind of deal like that. Just a different way of doing it. The fact that Kazarian defeated a man who has ran through the division on his first night back.
Yeah, he had
nine defenses. His first night back, defeated him just to give the belt away in less than 2 weeks. Why? That's the part that confused the hell out of me. More than the end of this show's promo with Eddie Edwards. Because this Honor No More promo to put PCO over on everybody had me like, what? Why?
I think that was because they got painted in a corner, though, because they were losing the guys and they just wanted to wrap up the story. And PCO apparently just got an extension. Do you see that? PCO, this reported PCO got an extension. He's all happy.
So who left? We're gonna talk. Can we just go to that now?
Yeah, let's go to it. Yeah. So Impact. I'll say this.
Do a rating. Impact. Give another rating on this one.
This show?
Yeah.
A solid 2.
I'll give it a 2.25 for Mama Mickey. That's the only reason why. Mama Mickey's promo with the girls. That's it. 2.25. None of the matches made me go, man. And Joe Hendry. I'm sorry, Joe Hendry. Hendry makes it 2.25 because he wasn't on the last show.
I'm with you. We'll go 2.25. We'll give him 2.5 just to be fair. 2.5 for Mama Mickey and Joe Hendry.
Sure.
2.5.
Quarter from me, quarter from you. Sounds good.
But Lance Storm, you're a liar. Move on.
That's what I was going to ask you. Is Lance Storm a liar? Lance Storm,
you know
got
what?
2 more weeks, buddy. You got two
more weeks. And to Lance Storm, you should have said, if you want to get into this wrestling, you got to give us 4 weeks and be so open-minded and come in with the thought that just watch it from week to week. It doesn't have to make sense. It just has to make sense for tonight.
I feel like he should have said, watch it from pay-per-view to pay-per-view. Let us tell our entire story.
I guess.
And then see if you like it. Because
you're right. Because
4 weeks is not enough. We're
Yeah.
done in 2 weeks. The next time we do a show, we're done following Impact. We'll recap and say, hey, do you want to keep going another 4 weeks? I think I already know my answer.
Yeah.
As of right now, the answer is no. I don't want to watch this religiously. I struggled to watch the first two. And I watched it not live. So I only had to watch an hour and 25 minutes. I do that with ease for SmackDown.
But can I tell you? But it's just it's the promos though. Like weirdly enough, like and like I know they don't do it every week, but whenever they start with a promo segment, it always drags.
It drags. We don't need 20-minute promos. The E's not even doing that anymore.
Yeah,
like 10 and a wrestling match.
Yes,
AEW started tonight with a wrestling match.
Long in-ring promos.
I don't know. That's I think because that's what everybody was accustomed to for years. We don't have to take 20 minutes of promos anymore. There's no need. All right, so let's talk about what they should have done on last week. So as people know now, Kingdom signed. I don't even feel like reading this. The Kingdom is signed with AEW. Let's just put that out now. The Kingdom has signed with AEW, and it's not Ring of Honor contracts. It's all Elite Wrestling contracts. What that means in the long run, will they get relegated to Ring of Honor? Who knows at this point? Because all of it is just mixed together in a bag like a seafood boil. Like everything is just.
I mean, the rumor today. Did I send you that? The rumor today being reported is that FTR pushed for them to get signed.
Yeah, it said it in that FTR was the one who lobbied for them to get them signed. So, but okay, so those guys are out the door. Okay, what did we talk about during like the first few weeks of the show, Vern? Again, this is the show where we just do callbacks.
Yeah,
we said professional wrestling and these companies are like comic books universes.
Oh yeah,
they have their own
universes.
This one is Marvel. This one's DC. This one's
Vertigo.
Image.
This is Indigo. Yep,
correct. Right. In your universe, the Kingdom are gone. They're leaving. They're out of here. Correct. They're not going to be in your universe no more. So you just had an Honor No More public meeting, and you made it look like the Kingdom was here for the long haul. Granted, these are taped. No, it wasn't taped that long ago. I thought this was taped weeks ago. This wasn't taped. That was taped.
It was taped the night after the pay-per-view, and it doesn't show on TV until 2 weeks later.
So, and
apparently this week they filmed like 6 weeks worth. From what Tommy was saying, like
so let's just say they filmed. Let's just say they filmed the 20th show. I think I had it on Cage Match. I'm not gonna look for it now, but they filmed it like 10 days prior. Like let's call it the 10th or the 9th. You're telling me if you had no idea, you knew their contracts was up.
Yeah.
Right. You didn't write them off television. You didn't write them off your TV at all. Because the way you left the Kingdom looking, they looked like they were still a part of Honor No More, taking bumps for PC freaking out. To this day, I don't understand. Pierre Car-Ouellette, okay? To this day, you had them looking like they were a cohesive unit that had one defector. When the next time we see them, the next time we see Honor No More, it's going to be Eddie, Kenny, Vinny. Maria's gone. Bennett's gone. Taven's gone.
Yeah. Okay.
PCO's out. You could have ended it in a huge schmoz between all of them.
Man.
You could have wrote off Taven and Bennett and Maria. Maria died. Maria never got back up. They were cutting a promo. Maria was still down. Get rid of Taven. Get rid of Bennett. Oh, yeah. Get rid of Taven. Get rid of Bennett. Everything looks good on your side. Right? Because when Christian went back to the E, when he was back for his peeps, right? And he came back to ECW and won the ECW title, they jumped Christian Cage out of Impact Wrestling, out of TNA. The last time you saw Christian on TNA, he got his ass whooped. I can't remember by who, But he got handled. Yes, that's how they wrote him off.
Blood in, blood out. They was like, yo, blood in, blood out.
They wrote him off. That's how you do it, though. You write him off TV. You left these guys looking high and mighty, and now they're going to be on another program. They were on another program a week later. But no, a day later on Rampage.
But they were on Impact,
so it don't matter.
Like Bully Ray likes to say, does it?
Yeah,
if no one watches it, who cares?
That's sad. I mean, I guess, but that's not how
I'm not trying to be rude.
I get you. You're playing devil's advocate.
But like,
you're playing devil's advocate.
Bully Ray said the same thing. Talking about Bully's turn. You know what Bully's turn? How many people I texted asking like, what y'all think? And people like, Bully turned? And I was like, did no one watch Bully turn?
Nobody watches Impact. That's the problem. They don't have the reach. They don't have a major cable deal.
So that's why honestly, I don't think it matters they didn't get written off. I think
I understand that. I get
they could have shown the Kingdom walking into catering.
In me. Yeah.
They could have showed them walking into catering and just cut off screen and they'd have been like, okay, where'd they go?
Wrestling purist in me. The fact that you went out of your way to do that kind of promo with Eddie and the rest of Honor No More, which is your dominant heel faction, and then they look like there was turmoil. And now the next time we see them, if we see them this week, they're cut in half. It's in half.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see them at all anymore.
There shouldn't be, but then that leaves a plot hole because you went from we're together. I'm with you. That was what Eddie was talking. Are you Honor No More or you're not, or whatever the hell he was saying?
But
everybody was like, of course, I'm with you.
But I feel like you're attempting to apply logic to an illogical situation.
Moving on. Okay, we've got a few more things.
We can hit on these. Yeah, these.
I wanted to talk about this girl real quick. We'll do this one quick. So, did you watch NXT this past week?
Come on, I'm all about my porn XT.
So, the debut of The Rock's daughter, her gimmick name is Ava Raine. She debuted with the stable. You can't really see it, but I think that's Gacy in the background there with the smiley face. She debuted with Schism. What did you think about her being there? When I saw her with the hoodie and the mask, I said, "Oh, it's a lady. I wonder who the lady's gonna be." And then her mask came off, and I saw this. I was like, "Oh, it's The Rock's daughter." It was a pleasant surprise. I'm not really feeling this Schism faction. I don't know how I feel about it right now. Why are you making a face about it? Why are you making a face? Because I'm being truthful?
Because when I told you, when I woke up this morning to turn on the wrestling radio, I listened to an hour of people who were losing their mind over this thing. And I was like, I guess I kind of had the feeling like fresh. I was like, did I miss something last night?
This is all that it was. It was her. She cut a promo. She
cut a generic promo. She spoke poised.
Yeah.
She spoke like somebody who knew she was there, why she was there, and she had something to say, and it didn't sound scripted. It didn't sound necessarily like she was like rehearsed. Yeah.
Because you know who did sound rehearsed on NXT? Julius. Julius cut a promo. Julius Creed cut a promo with Brutus, and the way he was talking, I said, "Oh man, you hit all the bullet points. You hit every single bullet point."
You know what I can't stand? That Rocky. You remember the later Rocky movies? When every time Rocky had a bit of dialogue, it was always him dropping nuggets.
Yeah, it was like a big speech.
It was always brother, it was always like, it was always the old head being like, "Come here, young blood, let me tell you something." Yeah. And it was just like, okay, but every time you open your mouth can't be a moment to drop spit science to me. Every time you say something, it's like, "Good morning, brother. Is it really the mornings that are good?" Or it's like, "Wait, time out. Stop. Exactly. Like, cut it out." And that's what this felt like.
And she didn't, though. When she spoke very well. And I was like, okay, she doesn't look uncomfortable in there at all.
Exactly. She just looked good. She looked poised. She just looked like, honestly, an opening promo, like a debut promo.
Yeah.
This didn't look like something that, like, I guess, again, I didn't lose my mind. Like, it wasn't some watershed moment. It was, okay, she didn't drop the ball.
When she took the mask off, did you go, "Oh my God, holy,
So I listen to other podcasts, and one of the wrestling podcasts I listened to, he was like, "Guys, I think it's going to be The Rock's daughter." And he said that like a week ago. So I've had it in my brain. So in my mind, I was like, yeah, I was
what
like, oh, it's a
gave that
girl.
away though?
Okay,
He just guess.
No. Zoom
His
into the
sources.
eyes. Do this. Do that. And I know. And that's how I was like, what? And then when it really was, I was like, that's why I told you instead of laughing, because I was like, you're not going to want to know why. Because it's going to be one of the things you're going to go, okay, you went way too deep and it's not that serious.
Look at the eye. Wrestling. What? So I don't know if you noticed. I'm gonna just say this one thing about Schism.
Shoot.
I was just looking up Gacy in the past while the promo was going and commercial went to commercial break. You know, I never really watched CZW because I'm not into that style of wrestling. I'll watch like Best of the Best. I'm not gonna watch all the hardcore stuff. But Gacy was doing something very similar to what he's doing now.
Yeah. So from what I was gonna say, from what I read in comments and stuff, apparently he did something similar to this.
I'm gonna see if I can find like even the look, the smiley face. I'm gonna see if I can find what I saw, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is not anything new for him." So this is the picture that I saw.
Was Gacy a deathmatch worker?
It's CZW, I believe so, sir.
Wow.
Give me a second here. I'm gonna pop it up. So on the screen right now for the audio listeners, there's a picture of what I believe is Gacy, and he's got the same thing, the yellow mask with the smiley faces. Here's another shot of him with Kit Osborne.
Oh, wow.
So it's very similar to what
that's
he
interesting
was doing.
That they let him rehash rehash a gimmick he did in the indies. Wow, good for him.
So my guess is I think they're being
Is that him? Top left corner?
Right here. Yeah.
Wow.
But he lost a lot of weight. That's him here too. Because this don't look like the same guy.
Wow. I didn't know brother was a CZW guy like that.
Yeah, he was a CZW guy from way back.
Brother was CZW champ, television champ.
Yeah, he was, and he seemed like he lost a significant amount of his weight as well. I mean, this is him. I think that's him. Yeah, recently. That's a 205 live match. Wow. That's when they were just doing it as a dark match. But yeah, I saw these pictures. I was like, okay, this was something he was doing in the past, and it must have worked at that level.
CZW world champ.
Wow, yeah, good for him.
The day I
did not. Yeah, right. TIL. I did not know that. But hey, hopefully it goes somewhere that I can cling on to, because right now, I don't know. Maybe this dynamic of adding Ava Raine, The Rock's daughter, to it might change things. Who knows? What I like about it is they didn't Rocky Maivia her. Like they just tried to make, like, Rocky Maivia was like, okay, this guy's Rocky Johnson and he's going to get us over as much as the WWF is going to push him. This is like, this is completely different from anything that her dad did. We're not going to try and tie her together with her father. We're going to just be completely, why are you making that face for?
So you're saying they're doing to her what they did to Braun Breaker?
No, well, because Braun had Papa Rick in there with them.
But Braun. So in other words, the idea that Braun didn't take on the name.
Like okay.
So can I tell you, someone brought that up? Like, they was like, technically Roman Reigns, right? A fourth generation didn't take on the name. But I'm like, I guess you're right. But I wouldn't think of Roman Reigns because it wasn't. Was he going to be Wild Samoan Jr.? Like, he wouldn't really take.
Yeah, what's he going to be? Sika Jr.? Which one's his dad? Alpha's his dad, right? I'm trying to remember. Sika. I don't remember that family. There's so many of them. There's so many.
Go. Here's the part where neither one of us know, but instead of just look it up. We have literal computers in front of us.
All right, fine. I'll look it up. Roman Reigns. I'm looking him up right now. Sika's his dad.
Okay. So he wouldn't be Sika. Would he be Sika Jr.? Like, right? It's just like, okay, so he, right? Like, it's a weird thing you think about, right? Because his dad wasn't super huge over, so nobody cried, right? Like, oh, why can't he be Sika Jr.?
That's the family tree, by the way. This thing is massive, and it's getting bigger. No, like, where is she? Where's The Rock? I'm trying to find The Rock in here. He'd be third generation, right?
Edward,
Manu, Samu, LA Smooth. He should be right here. Nope, that's the Usos. He's above them. Rikishi. Here's Roman.
Nope, you got to go up one more.
Right here, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Oh, no, right there.
Right here, Simone, Ava Raine. Here she is right here.
Good for her.
There she is right here. There are so many of these guys that have, guys and gals that have worked in professional wrestling. It's crazy. Where's Solo? Solo's
right
not
there.
here.
Right there next to Simone.
Simone. Why is he all the way over here? That's weird. They ran out of room.
There's another one?
Here's Lance and
Jeremiah?
Where?
No. Oh no. That's his.
That's one of Rikishi's kids. Another one of Rikishi's kids.
There's a fourth one.
This is. I think this is a lady. Wow. Tavana Mona Lisa. My gosh.
Wow. God bless him. One,
yeah.
2. Wow. 5 kids. Wow.
Insane. And
to put out. I'm sorry, to put out 3 studs, wrestling studs. That's wild.
Yep. Good job for Rikishi. Good genes,
Genetics
sir.
don't make sense.
Yeah. Facts.
So I mean, so all that to say,
Ava and move on.
Ava Rain, good luck. I look forward to seeing something more.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
It didn't make me lose my mind. Didn't make me want to go call my mom and tell her to tune in. So
yeah, we'll see what happens there. Let's go to MJF because we're almost at time. Well, let's see.
Yeah,
if
we're almost at the
hours.
pencil time. Yeah, let's see if we can. You know what? My ratings talk. We can chat my ratings. We can push my rating rant for later.
I'll move it.
I want to come back to that. That's something I want to come back to because I want to talk about that with you.
Sure.
Someone said doesn't care about ratings, but I think this is something to talk about.
Yeah, I'm not huge on ratings. I don't think it really matters.
I think this one does.
Okay, sure. Which is fine because you know how I get down. What is that? What is that? What is that? What is that, sir?
As you jerk trying to shut me down and just tell me like, yeah, let's talk about that later. We'll talk about
I just moved it.
All right.
That's all I did.
We'll move the injury talk. We'll move the injury talk up to because I'm sure there'll be a new injury. Right, so we'll move the injury talk.
Okay, I already did it too. Perfect. All right, so that
this is live. This is live, folks. We are live on air.
That leaves MJF, Sheamus. We're gonna talk about and the Steiner promo. We'll end with the Steiner promo.
You know what? Why don't go MJF Steiner promo? Let's save Sheamus for the next one.
Look at you, showrunner. I feel you. You're gonna do it too.
Yeah, I'll do that too. Because why don't we move that one? Yeah, let's move that one up because I feel like that is something we can sink our teeth into next time. Sure, I want to give that more talk, more conversation. This right here, let's go MJF, and we can end on a light note with end on something.
Yeah, have some fun.
Yeah, add some levity to this. So
all right, so MJF. I asked this question again. Another callback. This was on episode 16. I wish I could remember the name of it because I didn't write it here. It had the Logan Paul and Roman Reigns discussion. I cannot remember the name of that show right now. I wish I did. Again, something I could look up really quick on Spotify. While I start that up, here we go. It's starting. I asked you a question. I said, do you think MJF is a babyface? And you kind of dismissed it. You were like, oh, well, he was in his hometown. And then we were like, oh, but then Yuta was in his hometown. So they just did it to do the hometown flair. So we're kind of like, no, forget it. We just threw it out the window.
I wish it was just forgotten about. I wish it was something that just came and went.
Episode 16. I'm sorry. Episode 16 was Scissor Me.
Okay.
Scissor Me. Sorry.
But that's not the case. What's happening? What's happening, Frank? Tell us what's happening. Unfortunately, the idea of MJF being a babyface wasn't just amusing and a throwaway idea.
It is happening. It is happening.
Oh, no.
It is happening. MJF, I called it. I'm not trying to be like, I'm the one who called it, but I noticed it, I'll say.
Yeah.
At that time, when he cut that promo, I said, MJF doesn't cut promos like this. The MJF we've seen since 2019 is a prick. He's a piece of shit. He doesn't like anybody. He hates everybody, hates every other sports team except where he is, and make sure he makes a mention of it for cheap heat. He's always getting heat everywhere he walks.
Oh, heat is heat. Cheap heat.
Oh yeah.
Oh
no, whatever. Heat. I don't care. Heat is heat. I don't give a damn. Heat is heat. It's gonna warm up my hands. It's heat. I don't give a damn. Yeah, whatever. But that's what they just call it. They call it cheap heat. That's why.
Got you.
But that's the way MJF has always carried himself. Granted, when MJF came back after his long hiatus of holding hostage, he literally called his boss an effing an effing M word. I'm sorry. I'm about to give myself a quack.
Yep, get rid of the quack there. Let's quack that.
I'm gonna give myself a quack at
the 149. Yeah, 140. 148. Yeah, you're right.
I'm for 148. I know I'll find it there. But yeah, like all of that talk to then come back and he started pandering. You could see it. He was pandering to the crowd. Like, wait, what? He would do it and then berate them and then continue to berate them. But now he's like, the devil has arrived. Where are all my devil worshipers? And I'm like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
With no explanation.
It had the awkwardness of, I love you guys, right? Bunch of jerks.
You idiots. I love you, idiots. You bunch of dummies.
Yeah, it just kind of was like,
I don't know.
What's happening right now? And it did. So what I texted to the group was, it just felt like clunky. Like it didn't feel smooth. Like, so when MJF cuts a promo, it truly feels like he's talking. He's out there talking. It feels like he's riffing. He's just coming up with it.
No, he doesn't put on a promo voice or anything like that.
Like tonight when or whatever promo you showed me.
That was tonight's promo with Renee.
All I saw was that promo. I didn't see the show. I just saw that one promo. Yep. But when he hit Renee with the line of like, all right, I know I'm respectful, but the way you're looking, blah, 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 it was met with total silence. Like the whole place was just like, it wasn't like, oh.
What did he call her? Renee with all the something wanna lay.
Yeah. All the guys wishes they could lay. That's what I mean. But it was just like, I feel like that line would have gotten a reaction. I know, but why didn't that line, like, it just didn't get a reaction at all?
But him mocking Moxley did, and that gave me babyface Rock vibes. We were just talking about the Rock.
Well, he mocked
Moxley. Me babyface Rock vibes. He was doing the whole walk. I'm gonna eat your butt. I'm gonna drink your piss, saying that stuff, and I'm like, that's. And I like that
you said Rock vibes.
Yeah.
Did you catch the little bit they did? After he did the thing and he came in. He said the line to Renee, with all due respect, Renee.
Yeah.
And
then she
just
said,
because you say with all due respect doesn't mean you get to say a mean thing.
With all due respect, shut up or something like that, right? Yeah.
That was a routine. You didn't see that because she was like, and then she made the face.
Oh, she had a line ready. The line was ready.
I was like, oh, it worked because it was, but then it was just like, why are you guys doing lines? Why
they got a reaction?
This isn't MJF.
That's not how AEW runs. That's not how they roll. So it's weird to see MJF.
I guess so, right? Was it like, maybe is that MJF in the structured world of sports entertainment? Is that what
being
he'll be?
Babyface? So,
but because it was just weird where it was weird when all my devil worshippers, I love you, Virginia, but and all those flaws.
Yeah.
I'm gonna win that belt for you guys. No, for every person who's ever been told no, every person that's ever been pushed down, I'm gonna shove it down their throat.
They're wrong, yeah.
But wait, what did he say? He said something like, hey, shut up. I'm still the bad guy. It was like almost like he was like, hey, remember, I'm still a heel, so you still gotta boo me, but I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna use this ring. Like that whole thing was like. So some part of me, and Shay said it. Shay's like, oh, it's just a ruse. And I'm like, I hope it is. I hope it's a swerve, bro. We didn't see it coming. It was super nice to just bully Ray it. To do the bully Ray in 1 week.
Bully Ray did it for a year. Okay,
And MJF's going to do it in like a week.
But okay, so Full Gear is around my birthday. It's November 19th. That is when MJF is facing Moxley for the...
2-minute warning.
2-minute warning. It's 1:52 on the clock.
Yeah, man. I want those last 5 minutes to be on Scott Hall.
Scott Steiner.
Not Scott Hall, excuse me, Scott Steiner.
Okay, so this is what I was getting to. MJF, Moxley, Full Gear, main event. Both guys are going to get cheered when they come out. Okay? When cheers.
MJF
it's in Newark, New Jersey.
Babyface. Is he trying to out babyface? No?
They don't do that. They don't do that in AEW. There's no good guy, bad guy conflict for everything.
This is true.
So good versus evil doesn't exist. Yeah. It's who you like versus who you like. It doesn't matter. Which, don't get me wrong, everything doesn't have to be good versus evil, but the majority of it does for it to make sense.
Well,
and it just,
I mean, for the last some 100 years, it's always been that way. So I suspect it works. But whatever.
I mean, who are we to judge, right? Who knows? When listen to what I ask you. When MJF goes over as champion, okay, how does he get? The following Wednesday, what is the response he's going to get when he walks through and starts off that show? He's going to be a heel or a babyface.
So he has to use the ring in the finish of the match.
He said he's not.
But he's dead because he's telling us the truth. He has to be lying to us.
Oh, okay. So
you're going under the guise that you're going under the guise that he's going to turn babyface full. So and he's gonna sell like he's going electric chair. He's gonna be selling the entire time. He's selling like Ricky Moore in '84. He's just selling the whole time, his butt off like a ping pong ball.
This is what I believe. You believe it's a ruse. You believe it's going to be a work. Somehow the
No,
firm's going to get
you know what?
involved or something to give him a dirty win.
I need to believe it's a work, because if it's not a work,
it doesn't make any sense.
I'll say this: if it's not a ruse, then you've killed the goose that lays the golden eggs. I'll say that.
But I'll tell you this: babyface MJF is going to be a merch pusher.
No,
no. Vern.
I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong.
You
I want to
be
be wrong on
you
all
will
this.
Be.
Okay.
You will be, because
I look forward to being wrong.
You saying he's the goose that laid the golden egg, right? He's going to lay more as a babyface. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter our opinion. What matters is those rabid fans in the crowd that absolutely love that man, no matter what he does.
But did you really hear the response tonight from MJF that we typically hear to an MJF thing? I'm just MJF, go back.
MJF, what you hear normally from MJF is boos. You usually get a smattering, a big rain of boos for him. A babyface isn't going to get cheered all the time.
Mark this down so we can come back to when you and I argued about this. But
sure.
I believe if he goes full babyface, we're done with the MJF character. Whatever the mystique, MJF, the shine is off. The bloom is off the rose. MJF will just be another face in the shuffle. He gets lost in the shuffle.
MJF full babyface.
It has to be a ruse. If it's
I'm
not
putting
a ruse,
embraced, you're putting done. Hey, I would like it if it's a ruse too, because that's what makes sense. Like, I got you. I'm always that guy I've always been. But how are you getting there now? He just got jumped tonight by the guys he fired the firm. So he set up to get himself put through a table to gain the sympathy from who?
He's the devil.
To gain sympathy from who? The fans? Is he looking for sympathy from the fans?
I can honestly, see, here's the thing. Yeah, actually, yes, because this is AEW we're talking about. So yes, this is AEW we're talking about. Yes.
So TK wrote this? The guy who does everything for the fans? TK wrote this.
Yeah, why not?
TK, okay. Oh, why not? Because it's TK. TK does everything for the fans. The fans have slowly turned to love MJF. MJF's reaction back at All Out was, yay, MJF's back. Oh, man, TK goes, I've got a good guy here now. I'm going to write him to become a good guy.
No, he didn't.
You think he came up with an elaborate ruse?
That's where you're wrong.
Story?
No, that's where you're wrong.
No way.
I think Christopher got into his ear and said to him, like he said at the media, scrum.
Okay.
I told Max has to be a babyface. No matter if he doesn't want to, the fans will force him to turn, and he'll have to be a damn babyface. I think Jericho changed his mind. I think Jericho is whispering in his ear and changed his mind to switch, because there can be no greater heel than Chris Jericho. I look, whatever.
Show?
I will always have. I will forever die on the hill that Jericho is. He is the root of all evil in AEW. Is Chris Jericho? That the Czar himself has positioned himself. He's put himself in the most powerful position in AEW. He's Tony's favorite wrestler. That dude. The other day, what did he say? The other day, he's like Carl Gotch, Luthez, Chris Jericho, and it was like,
huh?
What?
How'd you put them together?
How did you get there of all these legends and Chris Jericho?
How'd you just get that big of a gap? Like, I should go off the screen.
Tony is one of Chris's biggest fans. I get that.
Yep.
I get that Tony is paying to hang out with his favorite person. Okay. Chris's hands are all over these last couple of shows. These feel like somebody who was doing that hard, good old sports entertainment was riding these angle and turns and swerve, bro. And the firm, they're going to turn on Max. After 3 weeks where they debuted and the opening promo where they were explained, Max clearly stated they're only going to come when I call them. They're not going to be here all the time with me. And within 3 weeks, they're fired and they've turned on him.
So you're telling me TK is going to take that and make this an elaborate ruse?
No. I think that part of it's I think that part of it's MJF, but I think Tony Khan thinks, oh, bro, let's swerve them. I think Tony Khan thinks let's swerve them.
Tony says let's swerve them in that fashion. Tony Khan, what we've seen in 3 years. Tony Khan's gonna write a story this long to November.
Oh no. Again, I think you're mishearing me.
Okay,
I think
let me
that
hear you say it.
Tony Khan is like, oh, MJF, I want to put the belt on you, and I think that MJF is helping to fill in these gaps. I think MJF has control of his story, but I think that I think there is a Chris Jericho vibe to the story, and if you deny it to me and tell me the Firm turning on him. You saw it tonight when the homie
get there. How do you get there?
I'm sorry.
Matter. What's the finish?
It doesn't matter. It's AEW.
What's the finish, bro?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, we call a wrestling match, right? We call a wrestling match, Vern. What's the finish? Is the first thing you call.
It's Tony Khan playing with action figures. It doesn't matter.
But you said MJF is the one that's getting there. Tony said, I'm putting the belt on you.
Oh, yeah.
What is MJF calling for a finish here? For it to be an elaborate ruse? What's MJF calling?
He's going to use the ring. He gave it away tonight. I'm not going to use this ring. He'll use the ring.
And that's the elaborate ruse?
Heel MJF is back.
And then he's going to come out the following Wednesday and cut a "You Suckers Believed Everything" promo? Is that where we're going? Okay, can we do the Scott Steiner thing? Because I'm all set now.
Wait.
I'm all set now.
I'm just and you're disagreeing with me, right?
I'm not disagreeing with you.
But what happened to Daniel Garcia? How long did Daniel Garcia? Take?
I know.
How many weeks?
3 weeks. It took 3 weeks.
What was the story? Conflicted.
Professional wrestler.
He's done. He's done with Chris Jericho. I'm with my hero. And then he came out and turned on him, and the crowd went extra mild.
This is what's pissing me off. Because
the crowd went
because let MJF go babyface.
The crowd went naked wings. They didn't even get mild. The crowd went naked wings.
Naked wings.
The crowd went
no
naked.
Dipping sauce. No dipping sauce.
Naked
no
wings.
Ranch.
This is naked wings. Nothing.
Oh God, wingdings. Went straight wingdings. Listen. The reason why I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying, but I hate it. I hate it for the fact that you're absolutely correct, and that's what's probably going to happen. I would rather.
I want to, for the record, I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong.
I love how we're getting each other, but both want to be wrong for each other.
I want to be wrong.
I want him to be a babyface and see where that goes. See where that goes. Why not? Why not?
Because
he's going to be the top merch seller.
Why don't we just ride dogs as horses? Why don't we just ride dogs as horses? Why not?
I'm not going to say what I was about to say because that's politically incorrect. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Dude, listen. I want it. This is my final take. I want you to be wrong so bad. So bad. That's all I'm going to say. But I feel like you're correct. And it pisses me off. It pisses me off 100%.
MJF is not an MJF I want to meet. Face MJF is best friends with Eric Young in my mind. Released MJF. Released MJF and face Eric. Yeah, I don't. Right. I just think it'll kill the. If he goes full-fledged face, what made MJF special, I think is done. The mystique that made he's the one guy, right?
Yeah.
You've all seen the videos of people in wheelchairs that he doesn't give them a break. He doesn't break character for nobody.
For anybody. Right.
Okay. Wheelchair people special. Doesn't matter.
He calls them wheels or something like that, right?
Does it all.
Yeah.
So he clearly doesn't care. So if he goes full-fledged, kissing babies, full-fledged babyface,
shaking babies, kissing hands.
Dead, because you just took Samson and cut his hair because you want to see what he looked like bald-headed. So I'll say it as that. I'll leave it at that. If they go full-fledged babyface, we just cut Samson's hair.
All right. We'll see what happens. We've got time.
Friend.
We have to close this out. We're gonna take it home. We're gonna take it home. One of the best promos ever. This promo is about 14 years old, Vern. Scott Steiner is going to 2008 TNA Sacrifice. This is on a pay-per-view. I believe it was a pay-per-view. It says Spike,
Sacrifice.
But
yeah.
I think it was Sacrifice. Okay. So Scott Steiner cuts probably the most incredible promo in professional wrestling history, where he breaks down a math problem between himself, Samoa Joe, and Kurt Angle. I don't know if you've seen this promo in a while, Vern. I watched it just before. Keep an eye on Petey Williams. Just keep an eye on Petey Williams for me, will you? Can you do that for me? All right. I'm gonna pop it up here. So on our screen, if you want to explain it to the audio people, you want to explain what we see?
Oh God, can I tell you? I don't. What was the name of his valet?
In this Raka Khan.
I don't know. Is that Raka Khan?
Yeah. Yeah, that's Raka Khan.
Just okay. So on the screen, we got Scott Steiner. We got him wearing his mesh cowl. The mesh cowl over his chainmail. Chainmail. The chainmail cowl over his head.
Yep.
White sunglasses, looking beefy. You got the interview in the middle. To the right,
I forgot her name. She was there for a while.
I don't know her name. In the back, you got Raka Khan mugging for the camera, and you got Petey Williams looking like Scott mugging,
little
flexing for the camera. Little Petey Pump, little right. Canadian muscle, right?
Maple Leaf Muscle.
Why
do I remember that? Like
I don't, because I said Canadian muscle. So the fact that you remembered it immediately,
you were close. Like
you had that on deck, though.
Oh, I was like Maple Leaf Muscle. Knock it
out.
Wait.
Time out. Before you play this, will this get us kicked off the air if you play this?
No.
Will Spike come for us?
This is Matt. Oh, I doubt it. Spike's not even a thing now. It's Paramount.
Okay, I was like, will they come for us?
There's no come for us. If we get hit with a copyright,
because we've done good today to done mess around with nobody and no footage of nothing.
This is the first video audio we're even playing today. No WWE, no AEW, nothing.
If we get hit with this, oh my God,
I'm gonna be tight. 2 minutes is all we're asking for, TNA. 2 minutes. Your Impact,
just
your
comment Anthem, on it.
You're not even on Paramount. You're on Access TV.
We'll talk over it. We'll do something, but
no, we'll let it run. We'll let the promo run. Because if not, we'll just clip it and we'll just have
this
our
is going to be complete silence. So for those of y'all who missed this on YouTube, peace.
For the audio folks, y'all will hear it at least. All right. So here we go. Let Big Papa Pump take it away, Mr. Pump.
And there's no sound. Franny, there's no sound.
You can't hear that.
No, not a thing. That's what I was like, you've been talking this whole time. I'm like, bro, I can't hear a thing. Nothing was happening. It's just dead air for me.
Share system audio.
All
right, let's try it again. Let's start it from the top. My bad, y'all.
Sure.
We're gonna start it from the top, and away we go.
Scott Steiner, it's going to be a three-way for the TNA heavyweight title at Sacrifice between you, Kurt Angle, and Samoa Joe. Now, before you get there, you have an important step tonight as you and X Division champion Petey Williams take on the unlikely duo of Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Samoa Joe, and you can see that statement is not true. See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got a 25% at best at beating me. And then you add Kurt Angle to the mix, your chances of winning drastically go down. See, the three-way at Sacrifice, you got a 33 1/3 chance of winning. But I got a 66 2/3 chance of winning because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me, and he's not even going to try. So, Samoa Joe, you take your 33 1/3 chance minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 1/3 chance of winning at Sacrifice. But then you take my 75% chance of winning. If we used to go one-on-one and then add 66 2/3%, I got 141 2/3 chance of winning at Sacrifice. See, Joe, The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you at Sacrifice. See, but I'm going to break it down for all you ladies. Would you rather be with me, or would you rather be with Joe?
Well, I think Joe's kind of nice. I mean,
See, you're one of those girls that like romance. I'm going to talk to all my freaks out there. Would you rather come home to me, a genetic freak, to be satisfied every night, or go home to that fat-ass Samoa Joe? See, tonight, we're going to win, and I'm going to be the world champion at Sacrifice. Come on, P. Let's go.
Scotty, just like you always say, Big Papa Pump has got your hookup. Well, Maple Leaf Muscle is who you need to look up. Holler if you hear that.
That might single-handedly be.
Yo, just to hear him cut into Samoa Joe.
Say it again, sorry.
Just to hear him say, Samoa Joe, you fat ass. For no reason.
Like what?
Because it goes from that insane math promo, right? That you're just like going, what is this insanity? And then my man just says, oh yeah, by the way, do you want to be with me? A genetic freak. And it was just like, oh, okay, you're back into doing the Jerry Graham promo. You're back into doing your Austin Idol promo there. You're doing it all now.
So can we just talk about the math real quick?
What's wrong with that?
Billy Graham, yes.
Yeah,
can we just talk about the math real quick? He started off well. He said, when you go one-on-one with another wrestler, I'm looking at a quote here. You got a 50-50 chance of winning. You got a 50-50 chance of winning. He said, I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got 25% at best, okay, to beat him. Then you add Angle in the mix, and your chances go down. But then he called it a three-way, drastically. He called it a three-way and gave him 8% more because he said it's a 33 and the 3rd% chance winning. But that kind of still makes sense because he said in a one-on-one, I'm so good, it's more like 75-25. So get rid of that equation for now. Let's get rid of that equation for now, okay? Mm-hmm. He said at Sacrifice, you got a 33 and the 3rd% chance winning. But he's got a 66 and 2/3 chance of winning because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat him. So he's not even going to try.
Kurt Angle's not going to even try.
He's not going to try.
He's good. So he's already got a leg up.
So his 33 and a 3rd goes to Scott.
It doubles up. Yep,
good
doubles
match
up
so far. So then this is where it gets all wonky right here. So Samoa Joe, you take your 33 and a 3rd chance minus my 25% chance. Where did he never had 25%. And you got an 8 and a 3rd chance of winning at Sacrifice. But you take my 75% chance from the one-on-one formula, right? Right? You with me? Uh-huh. If we was to go one-on-one, and then add my 66 and 2/3% chance, he now has a 141 and 2/3 chance of winning at Sacrifice. Yeah, that's great math. That math makes.
Well, my favorite part is when he's like 175. Where he just slurs the words.
He goes, this is the direct quote here. He goes, but then you take my 75% chance of winning if we was to go one-on-one and then add 66 2/3%. I got 141 2/3 chance of winning that Sacrifice. That is the greatest wrestling promo ever. The fact that Scott Steiner tried to do math on the fly and just made it so much worse, freaking hilarious. I had this thing where he reacted to it. All he said was, no, I don't think you could ever do an interview, and I think that's going to last forever the way that it did. But no, it took off. People still enjoy it today. I mean, look at us 14 years later. So it's great, and it made sense. No, Scott, it didn't make sense at all, sir.
You know what? Let's be honest. It made sense because we all laughed at it. It became a joke that in retrospect, we all laugh, and it's iconic. But when it happened, we all used to go, do you want to see the worst promo in pro wrestling?
Ever?
Like worst, you want to see the one that was worse than Ultimate Warrior? And so it's funny that in a way, like he owned the joke, and because he's owning the joke, it's a good thing now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And he doesn't look at it like, oh God, don't bring up that stupid promo. But I don't want to.
Right.
Like I dig that. I dig that. Like it wasn't that. who was it that we were reading like their thing that they did a signing and it was like all these rules. You can't bring this, and if you bring this item over, he won't sign it, and if you bring this item over, he reserves a right. And it was like, what the hell? All these rules for crap you could sign. Well, either way, I dug that. I just dug that. I dug that. Like it just felt like the homie has embraced it, and he's in on it now. And it's not him either hating it or him like, hey guys, want to hear me do the math promo again? Like it's not that either. Where like I would hate if he was seriously keep on like. I love that he's never redone it. I love that his words were like, I can't ever redo it. That's it.
You can't repeat that.
I
like
love
if
that.
Tony Khan was like, oh, I need you to come in and cut the promo with your math, please. I'd be like, no. But now I probably just brought that into fruition. Tony's gonna pay him a substantial amount of money. And Scott's gonna, the way your face is going, and Scott's gonna go out there and say, see, when you face Wardlow, you've got a 50-50 chance. I'll be like, oh,
no way. They just got that Hall of Fame money. His kid is on TV right now. His nephew's on TV.
Yeah,
he ain't messing with the bag. He ain't messing with the
Absolutely
bag.
no. Hopefully I don't bring that into fruition. But yeah, I think we're good here. 215, way better than last week or 2 weeks ago. Way better. We were at 240 something at this point. We're done. By now, they hear the music playing. Yeah,
they hear the music playing. We see the pencil waving. Wagon.
Where's my guitar? Here it is. I think this is my time to take it home, right?
Yeah, man. Take us home. Take us home, my friend.
Big hiccup. I just drank all my water. Jesus. A couple clotheslines, couple back elbows, big scoop slam, duck one, bubble bomb, get up, sell up, big sky high. We're out of here. All right. So with all of that being said, you like that? You like me to call my comeback real quick?
Oh, no.
That's probably what I'm going to do.
I thought you said bubble bomb finish. And I was like, did you just call the finish of the Impact match the other day? The finish of that to the Call Your Shot Rumble that we both went, the bubble bomb ending?
I use that as a transition. He's using that as a finish now. It's crazy. Hey, by the way, speaking of wrestling, before we go off, I'm working on Friday. So in a day, working with Shay. Tag team titles against the Hoods for NCW Northeast Championship Wrestling. So,
all right, cool.
It's coming up, making my special appearance.
Came through. All right, cool.
You coming to manage?
Coming to manage NCW. Y'all see me? I'll be out there
Friday at 7 p.m. You're gonna be there. Oh, okay. That's what I thought. With all that being said,
kayfabe brother, kizay fizay brother. Let the Mizarks think it's over, brother. Kizay fizay, brother.
Vern, we'll see you there. 7 p.m. Dedham VFW on
Dedham VFW. Come live, come ride. You will make the drive, folks. We'll see you there.
Hoods, I'm coming for you. No, I can't say that word. With all that, I'm gonna have to put a quack there. With all that being said, all right, time to wrap it up. For my man, I pointed the right way. Touch it. For my man, Vernon Somoza. Come on now, other way. For my man, Vernon Somoza, tip touching. Why you got to make that face, though, when we do it? You got to get all squinty. For my man, Vernon Somoza, I am Frank Champion. This has been another episode 18 of the Pay Window Podcast on the Sandbox Podcast Network. I am me. He is him. We are they. Say peace, Vern.
Peace, Vern.
And we up out of here. Good time. 217. I'm with it.